right. It's not Shotzi Blackheart, but we got some exciting news about some Halloween-related stuff, but we'll get to all that and more because we are the Shoot Brothers Podcast, the one and only wrestling podcast on this globe, hosted by Mike the Shoot Shepherd and Cameron Thunder Wolf Osborne.
Ow! Yes, that's right, Mike. Shotzi Blackheart is not here. She's not on the line. Although I thought she was.
Yeah.
For a second.
Nope, but we'll get to some fun stuff with her, and because she wasn't, she didn't have a match on TakeOver, but she did pop up at one point. I'll just say that.
Of course, been on this upward trajectory ever since getting her car stolen. I think really getting her car stolen put her on the map as far as fans are concerned. But that's right, Mike. You did say there was a takeover. We got a great show coming up because, of course, we've got Wednesday night, the 30th anniversary of Chris Jericho, as we all know. We got some trivia in there in the middle. Monday Night Raw. Even SmackDown. We also have... I'm going backwards,
That's okay. Like Memento.
Exactly, right? We're gonna kick off with the end of the show and then bring it back to the beginning of the show. And then, of course, we have the TakeOver. TakeOver 31 coming up live from a new venue, we're told.
Yeah, well, kind of.
I guess we'll have to see what the venue is. But before we get into all that wrestling action, let's go to Twitter world. It is the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. Like I just said earlier on, this has been plugging to us for the past couple weeks now. The 30th anniversary of Chris Jericho in the wrestling world was celebrated this week on AEW Dynamite. Mm-hmm. And crazy to think, we'll talk about that later. It was a fun, it was a fun little show there. But earlier on, Chris Jericho tweeted out, or I guess sent out a video. I don't really know who to give the award to. We're giving it to Chris Jericho as this week's Tweet of the League champion just because was this video of all of or a handful of the AEW stars singing Judas. And first they're posited the question by like the off-screen voice, like how many lyrics of Judas do you know? Yeah. And then we get their answers. Sometimes they're singing choruses. Some people are singing the verses. Even Darby Allin gets in there with a Cure-inspired rendition.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
of Chris Jericho's or Fozzie's Judas, rather, I should say.
Basically, Chris Jericho.
It's a fun video. You should check it out. It's brings some light to such a meanie over there in Chris Jericho to see all the people who respect a bad guy.
Yeah.
So Chris Jericho, you are this week's Tweet of the Week champion.
Congratulations, the champion.
Five time, tying Seth Rollins for second most.
So second only to Randy Orton, I presume.
Oh, he's top. Oh, of course he's top. He's top away. Of the list.
Is he double digits? He's got to be getting close.
No. One day.
Who will be the first to 16 times? That's it.
Yeah, well, that's the big question, right? Can Cena do it?
Oh, he doesn't tweet very much.
He doesn't tweet. Yeah, he does, but it's oftentimes like inspirational and like nice.
He's got a good Instagram game. He'll just like put out the most random things without any explanation.
Yes, I've seen that before.
Yeah, like it'll be like Mike Tyson biting the Holyfield, but with something photoshopped. I don't know.
Yeah,
just random funny stuff like that.
Whoever's doing like so somebody is in charge of John Cena PR. Right,
well,
and then I guess just tweets it out from a verified account of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Or Cena's doing all the Photoshop himself. I don't know. Like both options are.
Well, I think maybe he's just copy and pasting. He finds a meme he likes and he's like, I'll share this.
But do you think Cena is really spending that much time looking for these memes? You think he has like a?
Well, I think he does a lot of like. Flying and waiting around, so he's fucking around on his phone.
Anytime he's waiting in an airport.
Yeah.
The amount of places that guy needs to go, you could be right. You spend you're going on a 12-hour flight, and fuck, might as well look for a month's worth of memes.
I remember Xavier Woods. We all know what a big gamer he is. Mm-hmm. He was saying like on Clash of Clans or whatever that mobile phone game is. He's like, Cena destroys me on that game. His thing is just so powerful. We had to team up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Cena wants to.
I guess, and I mean, is John Cena sitting there with the iPad XL? He's not doing this on his phone.
His thumbs are way too big for a fucking phone.
His hands, of course, right? He has the big old iPad.
Link sausages on his finger. Oh,
Italian sausages.
Yeah. The juicy jumbos.
Oh God, maybe John Cena I don't think has actually made his way on to this list before, so maybe he's due.
We'll see. But Chris Jericho, great man. Congratulations,
Tweet of the Week champion. 30 years, XXX baby. Speaking of 30, let's take a 30 and add a 1. See what I did there? Because let's talk about the pay-per-view that just happened. Let's talk about NXT TakeOver 31.
Review 31. You know what? It's October. There's 31 days. Everyone's favorite day is the 31st day of October. So
a lot of people, if they could choose one day in October, a lot of people would choose the 31st.
Yeah, I think so. So let's just kick right into it. We start off with some historical footage, the old black and white days of wrestling, Capital Wrestling, as it were, with Vince McMahon Sr. And that all just kind of transitions into the newly looked, no longer the Performance Center. This is now the Capital Wrestling Center. So it's got a bit of a remake. Looks better. Lots more lighting, more screens, just bigger, better everything. More steels above the ring. More
everything. It was a mix of what the main roster was doing. So this is the Performance Center, though, right?
This is a Performance Center, but they just an everything but name.
They just renamed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Renamed it.
Yeah.
Upgraded
So it's kind of like they've taken everything from there, or WWE has taken a combination of everything that they have done in the last 8 months and then put it into one place. So we got the screens.
Yeah,
that was more of like a Thunderdome thing.
Row.
But then we have the people standing around, which was like the NXT thing, and I don't know where the chains came from.
Well, that's new. See?
That's new. So sort of like they're kind of like adding things together, finding new solutions. The chains were pretty cool.
Yeah, in front of the barricade, you got this chain link fence.
Yeah, way less tacky.
Kind of cool. It's cool, and now when you throw them into it, it hurts even more and shit. And
it could.
Yeah, and when they were banging on it, it made extra noise, like.
Yeah, and
so when they're pumping up the match,
clinking and clanking around.
Yeah.
But yeah, is this? And then I guess is this the new home for NXT?
Yeah, I like it. I heard another reason they wanted to do this is just to kind of get out of Full Sail where things are still questioned and you don't have to obey anyone else's rules, just do your own thing.
Oh, right. Perfect. Yeah.
I think like in regards to having like fans in the audience and shit, if they want to sprinkle.
Right. WWE still hasn't taken the outdoor route the way that sort of the way that AEW embraced that. Still sticking with the in-house enclosed events.
Yeah. Indeed. But let's kick this thing off. We've got the North American Championship. Damian Priest defending against Johnny Gargano. And yeah, just a good, fun opening match. One thing you might have noticed is that, so on commentary, Vic Joseph was there. He was live, but then he just had some woman with red hair who was not Beth Phoenix. And then some other dude who was not Wade Barrett was just sitting beside him. But
I'm glad you noticed that, because I noticed that like right away. Because I was, and I kind of had to go back. I was not watching this live, and I went back and paused. I think Sasha Banks was sitting on commentary.
I don't think that was actual Sasha. I've heard some other people say that, but
I agree. Too big to fucking fill in for a thing, but. I don't know who the fuck. I'm just sitting there like,
I guess,
what?
Like, it must have been some sort of foreign announce team. Maybe.
So, I did get the news afterwards. I didn't hear about her, but the guy who was sitting beside Vic Joseph was the NXT Spanish announce guy. Okay. Why they didn't just say it? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, because Wade and Beth, they were still calling it. I guess they were remote somewhere.
Yeah, remote, but you think they would at least bring it. I don't know.
It was weird. I'm glad we both noticed.
It was weird. That's why I thought so much about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But, the match itself, it was good. Gargano's working that leg. Priest hits his razor's edge onto the edge of the ring. Double edge. That hurts.
That hurts.
And then at one point, I think Priest jumps over the top rope and Gargano pulls the security guard to take the bullet for him. So all this distracts the ref. He goes to check on the security. Johnny kicks Priest in the balls, hits a big super kick. Ref gets back in the ring, but Priest kicks out. I thought it might have been over there.
I also
it looked like a stiff ball kick. He didn't
even for a kick in the nuts. It was a pretty stiff kick in the nuts.
Yeah. Then Johnny goes for his one final beat, but Priest blocks it. He's got Johnny hung up in the ropes and hits the best reckoning I've ever seen. Spikes Johnny down hard. Gets the 3 count. Damian Priest retains.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start instead of calling him Damian Priest, I'm gonna start calling him 38-year-old Damian Priest. This was such a hard hitting counter reversal.
Yeah, lots
finishes.
Gargano locks all over.
Everything all over the place. And for this dude, who keeps just he's red hot right now. These high profile matches.
He's 38 and he's just getting warmed up, it feels like.
He's just getting warmed up.
He's going to be 42 by the time he hits his peak.
By the time they put that championship on him, he's going to be in his 40s.
Yeah. And that voice, it's so it's I love it.
He's got a good voice.
Deep and cartoon. It's like a cartoon.
He's got a deep cartoony voice. Yeah. Damian Priest just keeps crushing it.
Looking good. Yeah.
Looking very good.
And Johnny Takeover, of course.
Of course, and
I think he's been on 22 of the 31 or something like that.
Big match Johnny. What do they call him? Johnny Takeover.
Johnny Takeover is one of them. Yeah.
Whether he wins or loses, it doesn't matter.
It's always a good match, yeah.
Let's move on.
But let's move on. We've got Kushida taking on Velveteen Dream. And the Dream comes out dressed as Doc Brown to mock Kushida and his whole Marty McFly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Made me laugh.
It made me laugh a little bit too, more because I thought with his frizzled up gray hair, he looked more like Don King a little bit.
Don King. It was the yellow gloves for me that I liked.
Yeah, the gloves with the little toxic symbol.
With a little toxic symbol on it. I was like, attention to detail. And the way that hair stood up
it
for
was
the
nice.
majority
He did
of
something
the match. How much spray and mousse?
Tons of spray, tons of gray. Kushida was not a fan. He attacks him during the entrance. And I've been a little cold on Dream, but I'll say he does a good job of just selling and looking like a bitch, just whining and screaming and making Kushida's arm bars look very painful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was the story of the match. Kushida just working over the arm. Dream gets some moves in. He hits the Dream Valley Driver, the Purple Rainmaker, but Kushida kicks out. And then eventually they fight to the top rope. Kushida hits a big suplex with the hoverboard lock. Dream gets up, hits the Dream Valley Driver, but Kushida just hangs on the whole time with the hoverboard lock, and Dream taps out. So Kushida wins.
I like that. I like that hoverboard lock.
Yeah, looks like a painful manipulation of the arm there.
Yeah, I like that one. And nobody wanted Velveteen Dream to win. So Kushida gets, is this maybe his first win or at least singles win on a takeover? It has to. I think
it might even be his first takeover match.
Exactly. After the bell, Kushida, further assaulted Dream on that arm. Possibly, feeling out the way or, expressing the way that a lot of the fans feel towards Velveteen Dream. Or further evidence in the change of personality in Kushida.
Yeah, I like it. He's looking badass, and I thought maybe this might have been a way for them to write Dream off, have him injured for a bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But but at least, developing Kushida into the top talent that we knew he could be.
Yes, finally. And then we get the nice surprise. We go to this spooky scene of this haunted mansion at night when Shotzi pops up and screams at us. So I was worried we wouldn't get to see her, but she's here. Shotzi Blackheart announces the return of Halloween Havoc on October 28th, and she's hosting. So I could not be more hyped about this. This is going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun. God, yeah, because now we're putting hyphens behind everything now, right? And
Yeah.
I just wonder, did AEW do it first?
No, they didn't. Never done Halloween Havoc.
No. But I mean, like, so I recall the pre-AEW days. They would be just like Takeover, Place We Were. Monday Night Raw was just Monday Night Raw. SmackDown was just SmackDown. And now everything has a hyphen. I mean, War Games came back before AEW showed around. I do remember AEW. They had their bash at the beach.
Yeah, they had the batch. I think this is just something people have been asking for.
Yeah, I think it's just something that would have happened either way. We would have been getting these, we would take over or the In Your House throwback, the Halloween Havoc, the Great American Bash. Either way, we were getting it.
I think so, and I hope they go all out. I hope we get the old WCW sets. They would have giant pumpkins, giant skeletons, ghosts, all that fun stuff. So I'm happy. Shanti's happy. She howls at the moon.
And that'll be the
October 28th.
Yeah, the final Wednesday before Halloween. I guess Halloween's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's now the ball's in AEW's court. Are they going to have a Halloween episode, or we'll see?
Well, yeah, I guess their thing is that there's so many trademarks, or like they would have to make up a whole new thing.
Yeah, but there's a million things they could do.
Oh, for sure.
Or they might not just do anything. They might just have a regular Dynamite with a couple pumpkins.
I mean, they do have their 1 year anniversary next week, and I would say it would probably be in AEW's best interest to avoid one of those. You know when there's like a match where the stipulation is pertinent to the to the holiday that's closest, like it'll be some kind of like Christmas turkey fight. Because it's like the day before Christmas or something. I think AEW would probably be best to avoid one of those type of things where somebody ends up with like a jack-o'-lantern on their head.
I feel like Jericho would do it.
Oh yeah, just for old school's sake.
I just feel like he's the festive guy, like on Canada Day, he's got his Canada jacket, and he does the Mimosa Mayhem matches.
The Mimosa Mayhem, can't forget about that.
But let's go on here. We got championship action, the Cruiserweight title. I think this is the first time it's been defended on TakeOver.
At least since like this iteration of it.
Yeah. So we got the champ, Santos Escobar, taking on Isaiah Swerve Scott. And Swerve's looking jacked. He's put on a couple pounds, I think.
Looking
all
good.
Muscle. Yeah, looking good. Escobar comes out. He's got his mariachi hat, his mask on, but he doesn't wear it. But this was a damn good match, I thought. Just Swerve's looking super aggressive. Still doing his high flying. Eventually the cartel come running out to interfere. But then Swerve just hits this big tightrope Hurricane Rana. Sends Escobar flying into everyone. But they just catch him, so he's perfectly fine. He just stood up and brushed it off. And that's when Ashanti, the Adonis, comes out. He attacks him, so kind of even the odds. Swerve is, helps Swerve out. And then Escobar hits the Phantom Driver, but Swerve is the first man ever to kick out of that move. So he's all fired up. He hits the house.
Really? First one?
That's what I've been told.
Oh, Jesus. That's pretty cool.
So Swerve's fired up. He hits the house call. He hits a big 450 splash, but then Escobar kicks out at 2.9. I thought that was it there, but you don't get closer than that without ringing the bell, as Corey Graves would say. But they fight onto the edge of the apron. Swerve gets knocked backwards. He just falls backwards. He hits his head off the steel that attaches the turnbuckle to the ring post because it had been exposed earlier. So he's just he's out of it. So Escobar picks him up, and it's this cool new move, some sort of double underhook face buster, and gets him to 3, retains a title. But I love this match.
Yeah, this was great. And the finish hurt. A little bit.
Hurt? Like the falling into the post thing was kind of weird?
Yeah, that it looked like it hurt, rather, I should say.
Oh, you meant painful?
Yes.
Yes. That's what hurt means, yeah.
Like the hurt business.
Yeah, I thought you meant it hurt the match. Sorry. But yeah, no, I love this match. Great stuff. Swerve, he should win that title soon. He put on a great performance.
And I guess if the Swerve get another chance? Is the Swerve over? Is Adonis coming in?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't really know much about Adonis.
No, we don't. So it's it'll be great to try to sort of build some credibility to this cruiserweight division.
Yeah. Apparently 205 Live still exists.
It does still exist, and it still happens. And Oni Lorcan.
So I think that's Adonis has probably been doing stuff on that show.
It's still going on that, but the championship remains a man who I'm no longer calling Santos Escobar. I'm calling him 36-year-old Santos Escobar.
Oh,
how these like almost 40-year-olds are keeping up these incredible matches.
They're just getting started.
They're just getting started. It's it's great to see. I love it.
Yeah, I think Austin was like 33 when he retired.
Stone Cold?
Stone Cold, yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, his was injuries, but back then you're like, well, he had a good run. He led a long time.
Yeah, because a wrestler's lifespan should be kind of like that of a football player, right? Where you start, you got like 9 good years, and then your body just can't do it anymore.
Well, especially back in the day with how hard they would go outside of the ring with all the other shit. That's why they all died when they were like 55.
And maybe, and that's why they're probably lasting much longer now.
Exactly. But here's 2 good, clean women. Io Shirai, Candice LeRae. We got the NXT Women's Title match. Capitol Wrestling Center. They do the nice old school. They lower the microphone from the roof. I forget this ring announcer's name. I like her. She's good. She's got that deep voice.
Yeah. Which one? I don't know.
I don't know. But good stuff. Last time these 2 women fought was one of the best women's matches of 2019. So we know what they can do. So at one point, Candice, she's got Io in the crossface. She grabs the ropes, and the ref's just counting for her to let go, and she elbows him right in the gut. So the ref falls down. But then Io fights back, goes for the big moonsault, but Candice gets her feet up, which launches Io into the ref again. So he takes another bump. He's knocked out. So Candice, she hits the double arm curb stomp called the Wicked Stepsister. That crazy move where she just grabs the arm and stomps your face to the mat.
I also thought that's what I heard them call it.
Yeah, so we finally got a name, the Wicked Stepsister. I like it.
It was pretty cool.
She covers Io, but there's no ref. So Johnny Gargano pulls the Bailey. He comes running out. He's got the referee shirt on. Goes to make the fast count, but Io still kicks out at 2. So Johnny goes and grabs the belt. The ref comes out, or he comes to. He sees Johnny in the ring. He's like, hey, what are you doing? But Johnny hides the championship behind his back, drops it down for Candice as he's arguing with the ref. Which allows Candice to nail Io in the head with the belt. She covers Io. The ref counts, but she kicks out. That was another one. I thought that could have been
right there.
They had me going. I was liking it. And then they fight up to the top rope. Io hits the big Spanish fly off the top, climbs back up, hits the over the moonsault, and that gets the win. Retains the title.
Yeah, you're right. I thought that Candice LeRae, that 2.9. I thought that was it.
Shot.
That was it. Because we had both of our belts prior, it didn't change hands. I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, this could be the one. Like you said, such a another successful defense.
Yeah, great match. I don't think it was quite at the level of the one in Toronto, but.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
I haven't watched that one back. Just off feeling of remembering. But this is still a great match. But that wasn't all, because soon after, as Io's celebrating, Toni Storm appears on the screen. And she's letting us know she's coming to NXT. So that's going to be great. Great addition.
From the UK.
From the UK, former UK Women's Champ. But that's not all. As we then cut to the night vision camera, we're following this mysterious figure on the motorcycle, and they pull in, they arrive at the CWC, and they enter, come out, take off the biker helmet, and it's Ember Moon. She's back.
And ready for business. Yeah, you know what, Mike, it was funny. I was thinking to myself earlier, just on, I guess the takeover's on Sunday, right? I was thinking on Sunday to myself, and was going to text you but never did. What if it's not like the men's NXT championship. It was just like a little thought that I had in my brain because after we thought our Bobby Roode was my thought, and Bobby Roode came back, and I'm sorry, Mike, there was just no fucking way that was going to be Bo Dallas. There was there was no way in hell. I knew it couldn't have been him.
No, that's fine. The only reason was because Ember Moon, she swerved me. She told me a couple months ago that she was going to be gone for much longer. Her injury could be career-ending. She swerved me.
And Mike, well, Ember Moon may have swerved you, but Mike, you swerved me because you reported that news here on the podcast, and I led my. And I was never gonna. I would just never have suspected one of the women's champions, and it was just like a little grain of thought in my mind that just sort of like poofed away, and then I was like, huh, yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, she's
us.
back.
They got us.
Great to have her back. She's got a slightly new look. She kind of shaved the side of her.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a
Rufio.
Yeah, a Rufio Mad Max character. Where it's sort of like we're in this post-apocalyptic, but I can still color my hair.
Yeah, but I can't have those sides. That's too much work.
Yeah, it was something in the middle there. Something in the middle.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll find out more from her on Wednesday. But it's time for the main event. We got Finn Balor defending that NXT World Championship against Kyle O'Reilly. And, we had high hopes going in, and this did not disappoint.
Not in one bit, did it?
Just some nonstop hard hitting.
Oh, Jesus Christ, eh? What a fucking professional wrestling match this was. Like fucking teeth, bodies beaten, internal organs blood, traumatized, and possibly one of the most physical matches I've seen in a Vince McMahon show. Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, just super stiff, tons of strikes, chops, kicks. Finn Balor does his basement drop kick and just literally kicks Kyle right through the face.
He's so good at this. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Kyle, he was the first to get busted open. He was bleeding from the mouth. And then the one crucial moment when Finn nails this big kick right to the liver, which buckled Kyle to the ground, and commentary did a great job on selling that liver shot. Wade Barrett, he's like, oh, I've seen this heavy championship boxing all the time. That liver, the liver.
You know what? This match, Kyle O'Reilly's selling has always been great. We've seen it in the tag action. He brought back the bit of you're going for the chair shot, but you miss the guy. You hit the top rope. You smack it back on your own head. He brought that one back. A Kyle O'Reilly Ricochet match would just be the ultimate sell fest. It would just be sell. Like the sell is better than the maneuver. I would love to see this matchup.
That would be great. Kyle also brought back the Regal Plex at one point, which is a crazy move. William Regal invented, of course.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Finn, at one point he had Kyle in the arm bar and started mocking him with the air guitar, strumming on his arm.
Yeah, and he was really going like, wow, wow, wow.
Oh, yeah. He was playing. And then Finn hits the 1916, but O'Reilly kicks out. Kyle's just working over the leg, getting some tight knee bars in, but Finn escapes. And then the big moment the big injury on Finn right near the end of the match. Finn's in the corner, and Kyle just hits a huge running knee right to Finn's face, busts him open, fucks up his jaw. Right away, Finn clutches at the jaw. He's bleeding from the mouth, and we find out that knee fractured the jaw in two places.
Jesus Christ. You saw the photos, I'm sure. That jaw
that was legit.
In two pieces.
So thankfully that was right near the end of the match, but he was still holding on. Balor fights back. Soon after, hits the coup de grace, gets the 3 count to retain the title. But goddamn, what a hard-fought match.
Goddamn, this is... in one match, Kyle O'Reilly proved himself to be a top guy in NXT. One match.
Yeah, excellent stuff. Both men are hurt legit.
I have to say I have to say possible. This match of the year candidate.
Yeah,
right off
sure.
the bat.
And then afterwards, Finn shows the respect. He helps Kyle up to his feet. When all of a sudden, Ridge Holland appears in the crowd. And he's got a beat-up Adam Cole slung over his shoulder. And he just throws him over the barricade to the floor. Roddy Strong, Bobby Fish come running out to check on Cole. And they're just like, hey, what happened? Finn, did you see it? And then we just go off the air.
But what? Yeah, exactly. What happened? Did Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, did they have anything to do with it?
I don't know. Why weren't they all together?
Are we pulling they were together earlier in the show. We got the little
why
fucking.
Was Cole left to his own? What's going on?
Are we pulling the trigger with Ridge Holland? I keep wanting to call him Holloway. Why do I want to call him Holloway? Like Ridge Holloway.
I don't know.
Is that a person?
I mean, Holloway's a name, but I don't know any Ridge Holloway that I can think of.
Ridge Holloway. I don't know.
I want to call him.
It's a fucking name that I just hear in my head. But for whatever, reason, like I just said, what an incredible matchup. What's wrong with Adam Cole, baby?
What's wrong with him?
Why is he getting beaten up?
Well, that's what I mean. Why weren't Roddy and Bobby there to help him out?
There are questions that must be answered. God damn it.
Yes.
But that was the takeover. That was takeover 31. That was one of the best matches of the year. It is definitely in the Kovatud era. And yeah, that's about that.
Yeah.
That's about that. Let's see what Meltzer has to say. Is that a 5?
Great takeover.
That's a 5-star match if Meltzer's ever seen one.
Yeah, but it's Meltzer. I mean, it's NXT, so it's got a chance.
So it's got a chance. Yeah, it's so close.
Yeah.
It's so close it got a chance. And that was the entire takeover. What an incredible show. And something exciting is going to happen on Halloween Havoc. So that's only a few weeks away. Ow! Ow! Ow. Let's go back in time. And we're going to go back forward a couple days because we have some stuff to talk about. It's a Fallout. It's a Fallout show from Clash of Champions because that's where we're talking about Friday Night SmackDown. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for SmackDown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, we used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just SmackDown Live.
Smack.
After last we saw of the Blue Brand was a menacing topless Roman Reigns standing over top of his blood, his familial lineage.
Yeah.
And after a long, very, very long dramatic video package recapped a lot of those elements. I don't know. Did you notice it was particularly long? Roman Reigns makes his way down to the ring
yes.
with his little penguin at his side.
Yeah. If Roman's a tribal chief? What would Heyman be?
Yeah, we got to find a new thing for him to be. Yeah, I picture now he's like a warthog.
Pumbaa.
He's like a Pumbaa type. Yeah, that's what I picture more. Maybe we'll solidify his character as the weeks go on.
Yeah. But Heyman, he's speaking, and then Roman just reaches out of hand. So Paul gives him the mic, and Reigns is like, I don't want you to call me the chief because he didn't acknowledge me. His brother did, but he wouldn't. So I want you to come out here right now. So Jey Uso comes out, gets in the ring, and he just says, I don't know you. You're supposed to be my family, but that Clash, you showed your true colors. So guess what? I did too. You beat my ass, but you didn't break my spirit. So Reigns was just like, hey, man, that was the worst night of my life. That wasn't my intentions. I wanted to do you a favor, put you in the main event. I love you more than your brother loves you. And all he had to do was acknowledge me, call me tribal chief. So Roman just says, hey, man, do it. Look me in the eyes. Not at the title. Oh, you want another shot? Okay, you got another shot. Hell in a Cell, it's yours. But guess what? Yeah, I think it's going to be in Hell in a Cell, right?
I think he did say, he implied, I feel as though he implied that the match would be taking place in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. So Uso says you're on. So yeah, the main event push continues for him a bit. I'm fine.
For a little bit, I guess. This pay-per-view is coming up end of October.
Yeah, the 25th. So he's got a good 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. So the week before this.
The same week, I guess, of Halloween Havoc.
The same week.
Be a fun week.
That's correct. Yeah, maybe
Hell in a Cell is already kind of spooky.
Spooky. I watched Silence of the
Cage is
Lambs last night, and then I think so the match. So he accepts the match. Roman Reigns starts to leave, and then AJ Styles comes out and attacks. Yeah. And I still don't know their names. One of them,
Jay.
Jay.
You're just proving the storyline. For all the wrong reasons.
I'm trying, Mike. I'm trying. One needs to wear shorts and one needs to wear pants, okay?
But one's not even around right now. So
but which one? Oh, my God. You're right. I think Jay takes AJ Styles out, though, for some reason. But beyond that sort of ending, Reigns as a heel has completely changed the entire SmackDown landscape.
Yeah, he's the Universal title finally feels like a big deal.
This possibly the most important the title has felt. Even when the Fiend held it, the Fiend was such a great character. We knew he was dominant, but for these other reasons, you know, part to do with his magic, the way he manipulates you psychologically speaking. But Roman Reigns is that brick shit heavyweight champion that we don't find all that often.
Yeah, no, it's just keep let him doing what he's doing.
Yeah, and the storytelling of this feud. This could be is feud of the year. Is that a shoot? Is that a shooty?
I can't remember. Maybe.
If not,
it can be.
If not, we could throw it in there. Yeah. I'm looking right now, and wow, feud of the year is not in here.
Okay, we can throw it in.
It's getting in, baby, and this is candidate for sure. Some great stuff over here on SmackDown.
Yes, and then Jey Uso did beat AJ Styles clean in a match. Huge victory for Jey.
Oh, right, that happens right after. I think right after the commercial.
An official match, yeah. Jey wins, so that's huge for him.
That is huge, and a man who, let's call AJ Styles his real name, which is, 43-year-old AJ Styles? 41 maybe. It's so great to see an actual superstar come out with like a physical, with, an attack and then the match that's not named Baron Corbin, because that has Baron Corbin written all over it. Attack.
Yeah, thank God. I'm glad
quick match, lose. I'm so glad we didn't see that.
Yes, me too. There was a couple squash matches we can skip over because Kevin Owens comes out for the Kevin Owens show and brings out his guest, Alexa Bliss. And Owens just tells her, I've seen a change in you, a shift in this attitude, this anger. And she's just like, I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. He's like, oh, come on, Alexa. You're not the same woman. The one I met 5 years ago at the Performance Center, always happy, always cheery. That's not you anymore. She just says, people change, Kevin. You should try sometime. Don't you want to be better? He says, yes, I'm trying. I've done some terrible things in my career, but tonight is all about how you're changing. I need to understand this darkness that's taken over you. And she just says, people fear what they don't understand, but have you ever been around him? It's terrifying and captivating all at the same time. Your spine goes cold. When he touches your body, you go numb. When he looks in your eyes, it's like he's looking right through you. And you can't look away, but you have no idea what that's like, do you? Owens just says, you've been brainwashed. And she's like, yeah, all the lies have been washed away. I see the truth now. I've been cleansed. She's got the crazy smirk, this look on her eyes. And Owens is just like, oh, man, he's here now, isn't he? So she says, he's everywhere. I can hear him now. Let him in. And then the lights shut down. The Fiend appears, applies the mandible claw on Owens, as Alexa just sits and watches. And then when Owens is out, the Fiend turns around, staring at Bliss, and she returns that unflinching gaze. Her eyes were glazed as well. And then Bray extends his hand, and she grabs the hand as the crowd erupts. I loved it. What a cute moment. The live crowd really would have gone nuts for that when she grabs his hand. I loved it.
Sometimes I'm into your recaps just to hear like what kind of synonyms you're going to use or how you're going to what metaphor you're going to pose to truly capture the audience, because that's exactly what this segment was. I mean,
I have to. It's only audio. I have to add the theatrics.
Of course you do. I am gonna have to dock Kevin Owens from as part of his brand to brand invitational, though. Sort of.
You're taking this? I thought this was okay.
I'm gonna have to do it. You can't just show up on another brand, and he brought his set. Like, he was ready to go. He didn't just show up. He brought his chairs. He brought his little sign that says the KO show. Brought everything with him. But Mike, like you said, yeah, this is the moment the live crowd would have just been shitting their pants for. There would have been so much duty to clean up. At whichever arena they would have been at, the first touch of the Fiend and Alexa Bliss, like the Sistine Chapel, the creation of man, right? God's finger extending out to, I don't think it's Adam, and truly creating the bond that would set a course of action in motion that would be human life as it is.
And that's what this was.
It could be it. Now, I did hear something about a draft coming up, maybe.
That's this week, yeah.
Was it announced? I think I heard or I saw there was just like a little clip for it during this SmackDown, which is where I noticed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So this Friday and following Monday is Part 1 and 2 of the draft.
Part 1 and 2 of the draft. Very exciting. The Branch Brand Invitational still on, though. As soon as people are drafted, we will give kind of like a 2-week or maybe like a 1-week leeway until all the, the official brands are set.
There's supplemental drafts and trades after.
All sorts of things. But who knows? Kevin Owens and The Fiend or Kevin Owens and Bray Wyatt is not a feud I remember from before. They were on different brands before. Two great performers, two great storytellers. Maybe Owens Wyatt is going to happen.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
we'll see.
So start setting up now instead of waiting for next week.
Yeah, well, that's like when they brought Mandy and Dana over to Raw a couple weeks early.
Yeah, why not?
But then we get another teaser. The blonde woman, she's getting all dolled up in the mirror with all her diamonds, but then she finally emerges from the shadows. It's Carmella, as we expected, but looks a little bit different.
Yeah, she looks less like the trashy queen of Staten Island and more like the upscale queen of Staten Island. Went from Jersey Shore to Basketball Wives. Like, picture that sort of glow up.
Yeah, I think she's had some stuff done. Looking a little
some reconstructives.
Yeah, looking a little bit like Cher, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not like
well, Cher's she's like 80 and people still love her.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. So, and she says, I'm not your princess anymore. This time I'm untouchable. Unless I don't want to be.
Well, that's great.
So she's no longer fabulous.
No longer Fabulous.
Yes.
Bam, 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 bam. Carmella, but that version of Carmella will always hold a special version in my heart.
She could always bring it back if she wants.
She could always bring it back, but yeah, we're gonna get
no more moonwalking.
No more moonwalking, trash talking.
Nobody walks like we walk. Ain't nobody talks like we talk. Remember Truth Mella? What were they called?
Yeah, some No, I think it may have just been called like
Fabulous Truth?
Something like that. Yeah, like we're going to put the 2 and 2 together. However, yeah, like I said, the trashy queen of Staten Island will always hold a special place in our heart. Of course, she was in a match on TLC 2016, which is an important pay-per-view. But let's get to the main event of this SmackDown because I think we have an IC title matchup.
Sami Zayn defending his freshly won belt against Jeff Hardy. I think backstage he throws the other belt in the trash at one point.
Yeah, whichever one had the other side plates or whatever.
Yeah, the other one had face paint residue on it, so he knew. Or something. But this was a fun match. Hardy once again had his intricate face paint, some like spooky black and white Halloween stuff.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. It was like coming down his neck also.
Yeah, looks fun. Sami Zayn's all taped up, still selling the effects of that brutal ladder match. And but before the match begins, he like sneakily removes the turnbuckle padding, which may or may not come into play. So they fight outside the ring. Jeff Hardy goes for his poetry in motion, but Sami avoids, and Jeff lands right on the barricade. And then they get back in the ring, go at it for a while. Hardy climbs up the top rope. The one with the exposed turnbuckle, though, if Sami grabs his feet, yanks him down, so Hardy slams headfirst on that exposed steel ring, and he's out cold. Sami covers him, gets the 3, retains the title. Fun little match.
It was a solid follow-up to that ladder match also, that these two had. Two vets that can pretty much make any match entertaining. One thing I love about the wrestling foreshadowing is like there's sort of like two. You can either foreshadow like in the match, something will happen during the match and then comes up again later, or or if it's before the match, the camera has to know to be there to catch it. So they take us to the weird angle of Sami Zayn clearly removing this turnbuckle for no apparent reason. It's like in a movie where, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. There's someone's like cleaning up, or someone spills some gasoline in the driveway, and then their mom's like, "Timmy, time coming for lunch," and then he's like, "Oh, but I gotta clean up this gasoline," and she's like, "You can do it later," and then you're like, "Oh no, you should do it right now, Mom. You should do it right now."
Yeah.
The camera had to have been there in that one moment, so we could have seen how it would have happened. Hopefully, both of these two end up on the same brand. It sort of seems as though Sami Zayn being the Intercontinental Champion and Bobby Lashley as the U.S. Champion possibly firmly will remain on their own brands. I don't really see the titles jumping back and forth.
Yeah, I think they should.
Where in previous years they have done that, right? Like IC goes over, US comes over.
Yeah, they've done it. No need to right now.
And the women's championships are synonymous to the brand, is even named after the brand. The main event picture, I don't know. Fucking Roman's so hot right now. It's almost maybe he could go over to Monday Night Raw and have Drew come over to the other side. It's who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll know in a few short days. I guess the one other thing that we missed was Sasha Banks came out at one point to cut a promo on Bayley, and basically we find out that next week we're going to get the SmackDown Women's title match. We're not waiting for pay-per-view, but I imagine there'll be something screwy that'll lead us to a Hell in a Cell.
Something will happen. I wonder what the ratings are like. This is always one of those moments where they're like, "Oh, ratings bump. We need a ratings bump."
Yeah, you got NBA playoffs, MLB playoffs still going.
Well, yeah, and tomorrow night is Game 5 of the NBA Finals with the Lakers. Potential to go home with
LeBron.
It. So they'll be fighting up against that, and of course Monday Night Raw is just fighting against Monday Night Football. Some football for which I am not ready for.
You're not ready for football?
Are you ready for some football? Oh, that was part of the song of Monday Night Football.
Oh, okay.
That was part of the song where the man in the country hat would sing, "Are you ready for some football?"
I just remember Faith Hill singing the Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football.
Was that who it was? Faith Hill?
I honestly couldn't tell you. See, Sunday nights in my household was reserved for, there was that beautiful block where it was like Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of football. I just knew.
It was the beautiful block of programming for sure.
Animation domination.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, King of the Hill was in there, Futurama.
Wow, what a perfect
Good
little
stuff.
block of time. But yeah, that was SmackDown. Another great show. Real excited for this Roman Reigns shit that's going on right now.
Everything but the tag titles on SmackDown.
Everything but the tag titles on both brands, I think, are actually doing okay.
Pretty much.
Literally all tag titles, all 3 of them.
Well,
pretty terrible.
The women's were having a good run there until.
For a little
Nia
bit.
blip.
Yeah, until the Nia blip. Which, by the way, when we're comparing blips.
Well, there's blips and there's blobs.
Well,
I know.
I'm just saying, Charlotte didn't have a blip. She had a reign. Never mind. Let's move across. SmackDown's in the rear view. Takeover's in the rear view. But the very next night, of course, we got to talk about stuff on the red side of things. So let's hop on over to Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Because we're not watching football. We're not watching football. We're watching some good old-fashioned wrestling. Guess who kicks off the show this week? A sullen and downtrodden Randy Orton.
Randy's hanging out. He's talking to the camera, talking about Drew and all the legends he beat up last week.
He's in a cool room with some artwork kind of behind him. But he
was wearing clothes. I don't think he was wearing
shockingly, he was wearing a full shirt.
Yeah, no sweater vest.
That possibly came down to his wrists. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, but it was definitely more clothing than we're used to seeing from him.
So bizarre.
So he formally challenges Drew for one last match, title match, inside the Hell in the Cell. And then Drew barges in, beats him up until they get broken up.
Oh, it was the room he beat the shit out of everybody in last week.
The Legends Lounge.
That's where it was. Okay, I'm looking at this, right behind him. I'm looking at a photo of it, and there's a guitar. I'm like, fuck, that was, oh yeah. The Legends Lounge, of course.
Yeah.
I like when start kicking off a show with a promo. We know what that's like. Taking it out of the ring, cool. It's a new setting. But it sort of still feels like that. The recap promo to kick off the show is, I don't know. We can do something else.
Yeah. There was some women's tag action that didn't really matter a whole lot. Lana gets pinned. Mandy Rose hits her big knee. But after the match, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, they come back. They beat up Natalya and Lana. And then it's become a running meme at this point. Lana just gets Samoan dropped through the announce table. So now it's like 3 times in the past 5 weeks, but it's funny.
Yeah, in the WWE doghouse, as it were.
Well, she's getting TV time.
Getting TV time, and that's what you gotta wonder, right? As a performer, as you, as me, as who knows? Cream rises to the top, of course, as it were, right? But if you know you're not the best, you signed to work, they let you work, you're probably having the best. You think you would be having the best of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know.
You know what? I've been
I've
been watching the past couple of weeks of Being the Elite. Gotta say, the Dark Order on Being the Elite are fucking incredible. All 7 of them, of course. My girl Anna Jay is there. Brody Lee, they're just swearing at each other the whole time. Brody Lee is clearly like the leader of this group of dumb motherfuckers. And John Silver gets used and abused on Being the Elite, unlike anybody else who's on the show. But you can just see it in his eyes. He's loving this. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. They make fun of him. I think Anna Jay called him a little bitch the other day. He's doing these errands. He's getting cut up. He's getting thrown around. But he just has this little look on his face that he's so happy to be doing it. It's real something you got to watch. The past couple of weeks of Being the Elite. The Dark Order, they're so fucking funny. You got to check it out.
All right, we'll get to more.
I'm sorry, that was just a little.
That's okay.
Yeah, oh my god, I'm gonna shut up now. Let's carry it through this next match because I think we have the. I think we're coming up on our Maury Povich set, as it were, or maybe our Jerry Springer-esque performance. Is that right? That was after the tag match. We have Dominic Mysterio and Carrillo taking on Murphy and Schmollins.
Yeah, they come out. At first, Seth wants Murphy to apologize, and he's like, for what? Or no, Murphy wants Seth to apologize for what he did to Aaliyah. And Seth's like, hey, man, I could have shared all those DMs. Could have been worse. But then we do get that match. I think Murphy gets the pin. He hits a big knee, and then he just leaves angrily, leaves Seth on his own. And then at one point earlier on, there was R-Truth Drew Gulak 24/7 title. You know the shtick.
Yeah, we don't have to keep doing that.
Yeah, doesn't matter who's who. Braun Strowman appears again. Talks to Adam Pearce. He's like, "Hey man, since Raw Underground isn't happening again, can I have a match?" And Pearce says, "You're not a Raw superstar. I can't do it, but I can give you an exhibition match." So that doesn't count. It's an exhibition.
It has to count. He's fucking.
Not real.
What's the difference between an exhibition match and a non-exhibition match? That doesn't make any sense.
It's not real.
It doesn't make any sense. It has to be.
It's not real.
I am okay. I'm writing it down, but I'm gonna put like a strike through it. You know, just so it can be noted that there was a discrepancy, as you were.
Okay. So anyways, Kevin Owens comes out again for another episode of the Kevin Owens Show.
Most popular show on the WWE Network at this point.
Yeah, so he just talks about what happened a few days prior with Alexa Bliss and The Fiend and getting attacked, so he calls out Bray Wyatt. And then the Firefly Funhouse appears on the screen, and Bray talks to Kevin, talks about friendship, and all the Funhouse puppets, they're all worried about being separated at the draft. Then I think Bray sings a little song about friends. Mercy eats Ramblin' Rabbit. Haven't seen that in a while.
Ramblin' Rabbit hasn't died in a little while. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then Owens just tells Bray to get in the ring so I don't have to wait until Friday to beat you up. And Bray says, "That's not nice. I don't like bullies. And neither does he. And as for Miss Bliss, that's none of your business. It's between her and him." So Owens goes to exit the ring and go find Bray, but then Aleister Black attacks him, beats him up, hits the Black Mass.
A little Black attack.
Yeah.
Mike, what this segment led to, sort of prompted a discussion within my mind was this. Like, if you didn't think, and I don't mean you, Michael, I mean, you know, the people watching wrestling. If you didn't think that Raw was the B show, look no further than this promo that we just had. Bringing in a Friday superstar to promote an angle that's happening on Friday right after an announcement of an exhibition match, and it's been happening for a little while. Maybe it hasn't been. The Mysterio stuff has been going on for a long time, but still somewhat entertaining. But this may have been it for me. I think Raw is the B show.
Oh yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I've never really kind of thought about those two things. You know, that they're very different entities, but especially right now, they're at the same fucking place. All else being equal, one's an hour shorter. Maybe that is the show, the A show of the brand.
Yeah, no, I'd stick with SmackDown over Raw at the moment.
Interesting.
But Braun Strowman is here. He is going to have that match. And Keith Lee is the one to step up to the plate. So, you know, they fight outside the ring. Lee gets thrown into steel steps, but the ref is counting, and he reaches a 10. We have a double count out.
Oh, my God.
Another fucking Lee, you know. They give you one good match, and then next 5, he's not going to have any.
So I after this Monday Night Raw, I did see the stat on it.
Yeah.
Where Keith Lee has had 8 main roster matches, and 5 of them have ended up in some form of DQ countout.
No. Yeah, it's I don't know. What the fuck are they doing with him?
Woof.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
None of them are happy. Braun's pissed, so he charges at Keith Lee and breaks through the barricade. The whole fucking wall barricade goes down, not just one piece this time.
And, oh my God, it just sucks. Because Braun Strowman, I feel as though, he's kind of too one-dimensional. Or less,
he can't,
less multifaceted than to compete with everybody else. Keith Lee can do a lot of things for a big guy. I feel as though Vince sees a big person and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna put you with this big person." That was a bad Vince McMahon, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like Braun Strowman can't do half the shit that Keith Lee can do.
Not nearly.
Not nearly as much. Braun Strowman was fantastic for those feuds with Brock. So somebody could keep losing and Brock Lesnar could be champion for 2.5 fucking years. Like, that's what he was needed for. There's really no need for a massively physically imposing yet not particularly skilled performer. Even Drew McIntyre can crush it. and we've seen him crush it with big guys, smaller guys. Not to say Randy Orton is a small guy, but Drew McIntyre's a pretty big fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
At this point, they might as well just draft Strowman or Raw, I guess, if he's just going to pop up here.
I mean, it sort of seems as though they're going that way, especially if Keith Lee and Braun Strowman's going to be the thing, then I guess let's just do that.
I guess, because they do fight a little more. They end up like tackling each other off the stage through some tables. So I don't know.
Oh well.
Next.
Next.
We get another Bianca Belair vignette. This time showing off that she's the smartest. And she's playing some trivia board game night with some buddies. And she just dominate everyone, showing off her brains. She's even correcting the trivia questions. She knows too much.
Actually saying, it's pronounced Monet.
Kind of. But, still hyped for her.
Yeah, definitely.
We got more bullshit. I think backstage, Murphy approaches Aaliyah, and she's like, I've been waiting all night to talk to you. And he's like, yeah.
What was that? What was that?
That was her acting.
That was your...
That was her acting.
That was her
me
acting.
doing
That
her.
wasn't you. That was her acting, yeah.
Yeah. So Murphy's like, I want to apologize. This whole set thing is way out of hand. She's like, it's not your fault. It's not me.
It's not your fault.
But it's not me you need to worry about. It's Seth. Are you still considering apologizing to him? And Murphy's like, I don't know. And he walks off. But Seth Rollins gave him a hard deadline. 10 p.m. comes around. 10
p.m. He's like, hey, Monday Night Football's going on. I need to get home for the fourth quarter. You got like 10 minutes at 4 p.m. At 10 p.m.
Yeah. So that's Seth Rollins comes out, says, all right, Murphy, Messiah's waiting. So Murphy comes out. He's like, all right, spit it out. Murphy doesn't say anything. So Seth's like, don't go down that road. We've been through so much. I saved your career. All you got to do is apologize. And he grabs him right by the beard. He's so angry. And then Murphy finally snaps, just starts pounding on Seth. They brawl outside the ring. A kendo stick comes into play. Murphy starts beating Seth with it. He's telling him to apologize. Seth is just yelling, Aaliyah, I'm sorry. Wherever you are, I'm sorry. So he's begging Murphy to stop. Murphy drops the stick. And then Seth pounces on him, gouges his eyes. Then he gets a hold of the kendo stick, starts beating Murphy all around. And he grabs a steel chair. And then Aaliyah comes running out. She gets in the ring to protect Murphy and just tells Seth to stop. Then Dominic runs out, followed by the rest of Mysterio. So Seth runs off.
Can you do an Australian? Can you do a good Murphy?
Probably.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, don't feel like I'm holding you back. Like if you wanna be performing both Aaliyah and Murphy in character, you're more than welcome to do so.
Well, we'll save it. But so Seth runs off. The Mysterio family's all here, but they're very conflicted over Aaliyah's actions. But they leave as a family, and Dom's just like, "Hey, how could you do look what he did to Dad? Look at his eye." So. Well, where's it gonna go?
Yeah, this was the best part of the show, I think, up until this point. So it was finally like, stuff. Shit going on. Let's go. The kendo stick. The kendo stick has now become the poetry of the match. Right. This is the story that's being told all around this kendo stick.
Yeah.
I guess we're building to this feud, and Murphy's being elevated, and him and Seth Rollins are gonna have a match. They're not gonna, but it's happening. Eventually.
Yeah, they're going to have a match.
Exactly.
Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, they earned that women's tag title match that was supposed to happen at the Clash, but they're getting it tonight. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are back, taking on Liv and Ruby. So, but Jax and Baszler, they just continue to look pretty dominant. Shayna hits a big knee on Ruby, locks in the Kirifuda clutch. Ruby taps out.
Shayna looks dominant.
What did I say? You
just said Shayna and Nia continue to look dominant.
Oh.
Nia Jax keeps not doing anything.
Sorry, yeah. I just associated with her, but yeah, Shayna does do most of the work and looking very strong. They're kind of resuming the push they had for her back at Elimination Chamber when she...
It's weird. The old, two wacky partners who hate each other. Like, that old thing, I guess they're slowly developing into a possibly legitimate tag team.
Yeah. Hopefully, though,
but
I don't want them...
It's weird when the two people who hate each other... Like, the Riot Squad has been a team for, 3 years. And
on and off.
And this matchup, they did not look like they were had better tag chemistry than the other group did.
Yeah, I mean they didn't really get to do much.
Yeah.
But hopefully Shayna and Nia don't hold the titles too long because there's better teams out there. So.
Yes, there is.
And if this can just be a way to rebuild Shayna, then yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we got some singles action. MVP taking on Mustafa Ali. And Ali's out here all on his own. MVP's got...
Before we keep going, we did skip right past this, but I'm totally fine with it. The Hurt Business, this is the second time we've seen the Hurt Business this evening. MVP is in a matchup right now. But before, of course, because it's Monday Night Raw, and it's the year 2020, so of course Apollo Crews is going to be taking somebody on. The matchup that we had was the Crews Ricochet versus Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Mike, did you know the last time Apollo Crews was in a matchup against somebody outside of the Hurt Business was June? Apollo Crews just keeps taking beating after he's the new Corbin. He's the Corbin of whatever the fuck's going on here.
Yeah, I don't like it too much. Who did they had a match, didn't even matter.
Didn't even matter. We skipped right over top of it.
But this one does matter. MVP, Mustafa Ali. Like I said, Ali's all on his own. MVP's got Lashley, Shelton. And at one point, he just says, get in the ring. The three of them, they all get in the ring. They surround Ali. But then the lights start to flicker.
Uh-oh.
The Retribution logos appear everywhere. And then the group themselves appear. So they're back. T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack.
It sounds like an order. It sounds like an order at Denny's. Like, can I have the slapjack with a side of mace, and T-bone on the side? And they're like, okay, I'll write that up, sweetheart.
They also got some of the faceless goons with them. They don't get the custom masks,
which is fine. It's sort of there's a couple people in Dark Order that we still don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah, they're like the putties from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So then they're surrounded. MVP says to Ali, "You with us?" So he joins them. He joins the Hurt Business. They all go back to back, ready to fight off Retribution. When Mustafa Ali rolls out of the ring, gets face to face with Mason T-Bar, and then turns around, smiles, points at the Hurt Business, and says, "Get him!" So, oh shit, Ali, he's in. He's in with Retribution, and I love it.
Is Ali the leader of Retribution?
He might be, because they just start beating the shit out of Hurt Business. They're all beaten up. Mustafa just gets in the ring, and the whole group, Retribution, they just surround Ali, standing tall. I think he is the leader. Now,
earlier on in the year, you, me, millions of people on the face of the planet Earth were convinced Mustafa Ali was the SmackDown hacker. It had that the light ring that he does, and everything was pointing to Mustafa Ali. And he's one who's, for years, has done those incredible, single cam in a stairway promos, those things. He's incredible at doing these things. Very creative guy, we can see. But after so many stops and starts in these pushes, he came back, I guess, a couple weeks ago. He's sort of been involved with Ricochet, but he's been reserved. He hasn't been, he's been wearing black and shit like that. They Byron Sachs and Tom Phillips, they were just screaming into our faces that Mustafa Ali has been behind Retribution all along.
Yeah. And I think it makes some sense because he has been fucked around a bit with pushes and stops and starts and being moved around and nothing happening, and so
it does make sense. One thing I loved about this performance when Mustafa Ali came up to Slapjack and Mace, I guess. Dio Madden.
Yeah.
Dio Madden was acting like a fucking like animal, like sniffing
his
around.
eyes.
Yeah,
he looked like a predator.
He looked
I
like the Predator, and he's certainly big enough to be. Like I did really love the way that they played this out, just like a pack of dogs waiting for their fucking leader to. I just wonder where it takes the voice out of Dominic Dijakovic. It makes me wonder.
Well,
I mean, he was a mouthpiece for a long time, or every time we've heard Retribution speak.
He can be the top right-hand man.
Exactly. Is he the top man? Did WWE kind of immediately like, oh shit, this Dijakovic isn't working? Mustafa Ali's the leader. I don't know. But either way, it's exactly what Ali deserves.
Yeah, I'm all aboard. It's
for his years.
It's Retribution.
For his years of hard work. And Retribution, like we said, they've been on the ups. They're doing shit on Twitter that I don't even know you could type like that. They're doing some crazy shit. And what a great way to close out Monday Night Raw.
Well, there was a match after that, but
wait. You mean revealing the leader of the semi-terrorist organization, which has been holding back the entire company for months? You mean this is not that was not the main event of Monday Night Raw?
Well, I think it would have been too suspicious to have MVP versus Mustafa Ali as the main event.
Fuck, that's a good point. Just the way it ended, I don't know.
But I mean,
the way
it could have been the ending,
and then just to hear Tom
match.
Phillips go like, "Okay, we're back with a 6-man tag," just to hear like that, I was like,
I know,
fuck, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch this anymore.
No, and I mean, the 6-man tag didn't really matter. I guess the only thing was. Orton, Rude, and Ziggler taking on Street Profits and Drew McIntyre. Randy just kind of avoids the whole match, picking his spots until he finally hits Drew with the RKO and pins him. Pins the champion. The heels win.
And WWE, they're great at this. The 6-man, everybody's talented. It's going to be a good it's going to be a good match. Main event tag. Like we know, this is a formula that's been working many times before, right? But certainly the finish. That's where we wanted, right?
That's got to be the first time Drew has been pinned all year, I would think.
The first time he has been pinned since, I believe it was Extreme Rules last year, the one with Taker.
So 2019 was the last time he got pinned.
So this is big, right? Possibly leading up to a Hell in a Cell matchup. I don't know if that's been announced or that's just the way it's going.
I think it's inevitable.
But McIntyre, Orton 3...
the definitive. Either Orton wins or he gets the fuck out.
That's the definitive, and in the constant efforts of trying literally anything we can, maybe Street Profits versus Ziggler and Rude. You so rarely like dramatically exhale, and I just heard you dramatically exhale.
I mean, I love the talent. I love.
It never happened. I just never hear it out of you. That's all.
Well, that was the Monday Night Raw. That was the first half of the show.
That was Monday Night Raw. That was the first half of the podcast. Mike, should we take a break?
Let's take a break, re-energize, come back.
Re-energize, come back with some trivia, come back with some Wednesday Night Wars. So you're going to want to stick around.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
She is very talented.
Recording artist Sia.
Wouldn't want to be but
no, but I would like to be her.
Oh yeah. If I could have a voice, her control one of the greatest voices of her generation.
There you have it. Has she done a Bond song? I feel like she could do a Bond song.
Maybe. I don't care much for Bond.
Oh no.
I mean, obviously GoldenEye 64 is amazing.
Obviously GoldenEye, and then that was the peak.
But no, then I went back and I watched GoldenEye the movie. I'm like, this isn't very good. It wasn't terrible, but
no, one thing
I couldn't go higher than a 7. One
thing I remember from the Pierce Brosnan James Bonds were that like it was in that bad special effects between time where computer generated stuff was coming up, so there were like less, or they spent less on practical effects. so they could probably spend more on the visual effects, and the visual effects just aren't good by like today's standards, or even like 2006 standards or something else.
Yeah. No, I've heard Daniel Craig's a pretty good Bond. I just don't, I'm not a hater. I just don't care about the Bond that much.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to watch something that's going to take...
If it was a horror movie franchise, I probably would have seen every Bond.
You're not going to watch something that's going to take hours just because other people have. I agree. There's 20. If there's 24 James Bonds, let's say they're
so
each
many.
average 2 hours.
Yeah.
Let's say that's like fucking 2 days worth of shit to watch.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of stuff.
And I am, once I start something, I like to finish it. So I would feel obligated to watch all the Bond
Watch
films.
every single one. But then I guess at least like the good part is that then the next one would come out, and then you just got to watch one movie.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess since they're like change actors and stuff, it's somewhat fresh. Like I've seen some of the old ones there. I don't know. They're all just okay.
Maybe you could do it in chunks, like watch chunks of Bond. Like, first you're going to watch Roger Moore, and then he did 4 of them. Then you're like, okay, that's an easy time frame of stuff. Oh.
I'd rather watch like Rush Hour. I feel like they do better. Even though it's comedy, it's more action.
I'd rather watch all 3. Are there 3 Rush Hours, or was there a 4th?
I think there's 3. Yeah, just 3. Yeah.
Oh, my God, Mike. Well, that's the cold open. Is that the cold open?
That's chili.
Oh,
Red
baby,
hot
it's
chili.
ice cold over here. That's right, part 2, Street Brothers Wrestling Podcast. Things are going great. We had TakeOver 31. We had our, let me write this down, Smack. Then we had our Boom. We had our Monday Night Raw. It's been such a great show. But before we get to our Wednesday night, let's kick ourselves off. Let's kick ourselves off with trivia.
Trivia. Woo! Trivia. Woo!
I've
Trivia.
got questions for you. Do you got questions for me?
Yes.
Cool. I've got 4 questions.
I will give you 6.
6.
All right, I'll go first. We're gonna play. We've done something like this before, but now it's kind of gonna be the opposite way. We're doing some nickname trivia
Okay.
for the wrestlers.
Okay.
This time, I'm gonna give you the wrestler, and you're gonna have to give me some nicknames for them.
Okay.
So I want you to give me 3 nicknames for Triple H.
Okay, so Triple H. So we have like Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Does that count?
No.
So not previous names that they've gone by.
Yeah, just like nicknames.
Nicknames. Okay.
Monikers.
Okay. Well, he would have like the game.
Yeah, that's what we're looking.
The game. I'm gonna say. What about like just Hunter? Like when someone in a promo is trying to like really cut to the core and they call him just Hunter, or CM Punk called him Paul in the like used his name. Doesn't count though.
I mean, Hunter is part of it. I mean, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It's
Okay.
all.
Other than that, no, I don't know any other. I don't know any other nicknames besides just like the game.
Yeah, the game's the big one.
It's the big one.
I mean, every once in a while he comes out with his other theme song. Do you remember? It's another Motorhead song.
Fuck. It's another Motorhead song.
It's his
His favorite band, apparently.
Bow down to the
Like the King,
something like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah. So maybe. I mean, you want me to give it?
Yeah. I don't think I've heard of it. What are you saying?
The King of Kings.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The King of Kings.
Okay.
He also called himself the Cerebral Assassin.
Okay, I think I've heard that one. Yeah.
And then Hunter, like when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he also went by the Blue Blood.
The Blue. Yeah, I never heard that one. Okay.
Yeah, so that's his. Well, there you go. There's a couple nicknames. Let me just fire another one at you.
Yeah, go for it.
Seth Rollins. Can you give me 3 of his nicknames?
Seth Rollins. Well, I guess the Messiah, the Monday Night Messiah.
Yeah.
The Kingslayer. I definitely remember that.
Kingslayer. Yeah. I'll give you that.
That was the Triple H, that Mania. That was his time there.
Yeah.
What else would he have been called? I don't know. The fucking Backstabber.
I mean, If you got the Kingslayer, you can probably get another.
The Kingslayer. Maybe. Oh, the Beast Slayer. Yeah, his Brock
Slayer.
time. Yeah, Brock time.
So there's 3. You could have also got the Architect.
The
That was like
Architect.
this-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like
But there might
OG
be more.
something.
There might be more. That's enough.
The Architect. I should have gotten that one. Should have gotten
That's
that
okay.
one.
You got 3. That's all I wanted.
There we go.
All right, hit me.
Mike, I'm going to hit you with questions. Because, our Tweed League champion, Chris Jericho, it's his 30th year in the business, Triple X, XXX.
Vin Diesel.
So these are all Vin Diesel trivia questions. No, Mike, 30 years ago. It was a different time, you were born 30 years ago.
Yeah, I was a little baby bopper.
So a little baby bopper at this time. 30 years ago. So Mike, what we're gonna do? We're gonna hop in me and Kushida. You're in the back seat. We're gonna hop in our little DeLorean. We're going back in time. We're going to 1990 with some 1990 trivia for you.
Okay.
Okay, Mike. So we're gonna kick off with what should be an easy one. Mike, who was the Prime Minister of Canada throughout the year 1990?
1990. You say it should be easy. But okay. My earliest Prime Minister that I remember is Jean Chrétien. So I'm going to say, who was before Jean Chrétien? Who was before Jean Chrétien? Because I feel like Pierre Trudeau was already gone at that point.
Yeah, you're saying a lot of good things. Yeah.
So someone in between Trudeau and Chrétien. Who was? Let's go with Brian Mulroney.
Brian Mulroney, ding, ding, ding.
Woo!
You got it. Excuse me. You're right. He was Prime Minister from 1984 to 1993. But King Campbell was actually between Mulroney and Chrétien.
King Campbell.
Kim
the maker of
Campbell.
soup. Kim Campbell, the maker of
If you
soup.
recall, the only female Prime Minister of Canada.
Yeah.
There you go.
Canadian politics. All right. I'll fire one at you here.
Yes, please do.
Now we are moving along to Chris Jericho. Can you
Oh
give me
my
3
God,
nicknames?
he has like 20 that he because see, okay, what Chris
got a
Jericho
lot.
has done, he just gives himself nicknames, which makes things much easier for himself. Okay, what? So I guess so what is he now? So I guess is like, wasn't there one? I'm trying to like just go back, start off the earliest I can think of. When he like came to WWE, did he come in as like a it was like a rock star thing, right? Like rock star Chris Jericho? Is that one?
Yeah, you have a couple things. It's not that.
It's not that. It's something to that
It's not
effect
that.
though, right? Fuck.
There's some rock and stuff in there, and
Yeah.
that's one of the nicknames. That's probably one of the harder ones. Like, there's easier ones you can get, I think.
Oh, there's easier ones. Well, certainly.
Well-
He was what? He's the demo god now,
Yeah, that's one. The demo.
right?
That's the
And
most
I guess
recent.
he was Le Champion before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He always gets another one. I picture like long hair Chris Jericho, Lionheart.
Yeah, that's one of his early ones.
Chris Jericho. Fuck
You've
it.
already got 3, but you can keep going.
Got a few, yeah, because I know that there is one with rock in it. Like it's something rock
Yeah.
and roll, something like that. And I forget it, and you're gonna say it, and I'm gonna, it's just like the light bulb's gonna go off.
Yeah.
It's something like rock star, rock and roll star, something like that. So yeah, I don't know, but I know I'm in the ballpark.
Yeah. Well, you got your 3. There's a couple others that you would know, but I can just tell you if you'd like.
Yeah, what's the one that I'm thinking of?
So the one you're thinking of is the Ayatollah
A
of
rock and roll.
roller.
Yeah, you're so right.
But then one of the biggest ones that you could have got was Y2J, of
Oh
course.
yeah.
And then he was the pain maker a few years ago with his face paint.
Oh yep.
Pain maker. And I'm sure there's a bunch more. He has a lot, like you said.
Yeah, I just keep.
You got your 3. You met your quota.
I met my quota. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Mike.
All right.
Here's another one for you. 1990 trivia. 1990 was a big year. 1990 was a big year. Great year. On October 3rd of 1990, Which two countries unified into one?
1990, two countries into one. Which two countries into one? Oh. I'm trying to think. Does it have to do with the Soviet Union?
Think of famous times where two countries have become one country.
Soviet Union stuff?
There's if you it could be. We're trailing off of the Cold War.
Trailing off, so maybe not.
It could be. It could be though. I don't know.
It could be.
I don't know.
USSR and so we're saying the question is which two countries combined?
Which two countries? Yes, unified into one.
I'm gonna say.
It's tough. It's tough. You definitely know the answer. You definitely know the answer.
I'm gonna stick with this USSR thing.
Okay.
Them and someone else. And I'm trying to think of countries around there, but all the ones I'm thinking of are like still around.
Okay. But
USSR
Mm-hmm.
and Sri Lanka.
Mike, you the USSR that you were in the right mindset. Well, I think you were thinking something differently, because the Cold War was cooling off. By the way, if you search 1990 on Wikipedia, it's like 95% just Cold War shit because the Cold War was coming to an end. A byproduct of the Cold War, of course, the hostility post World War II, the division of Germany into both West and East Germany. As the Cold War started to cool off and political ties were no longer needed for these two nations to be separate. On October 3rd, 1990, West and East Germany
The Berlin Wall.
officially molded into one.
The Berlin Wall? Is that have to do with it?
That's all around. Yeah, Gorbachev.
They broke it down and they broke the
Gorbachev,
barrier?
Tear down this wall. All that stuff. All that.
Gorby?
Nixon. All that stuff.
Gorby?
Yeah, Gorbachev. Yeah.
The big blob on his head?
Yeah, what is that? A liver spot? I think it's a liver spot.
It's the shape of Russia.
Is it? Wow.
I don't know.
You got it tattooed on his skull.
All right. Yes, East and West Germany now. That all makes sense. Okay, let me give you another nickname.
Let's keep rocking.
Tell me 3 nicknames for Randy Orton.
Oh, man. The Ran Man.
Well,
that's an asterisk point. The Legend Killer, obviously the Viper. When he goes onto his all fours, when he's like starts to just like smacking the ground.
yeah.
That is when he's the apex predator. But only in that smack in the ground moment. All before that, he's all these other things.
Yeah. Well, you got 3.
And the Ran Man.
And the Ran Man. We'll give the Ran Man as a bonus.
Are there any others?
I mean, there might be. I only wrote down the 3 because that's all I needed.
That's all I can think of.
I couldn't think of any off the top of my head. Or I scanned Wikipedia. It doesn't list nicknames. You would have to, I don't know, read their entire history to know.
Or something, or just kind of know. Yeah, that one I just know. I don't know.
Yeah,
they call him all of these things.
All of them regularly. So
regularly, he's referred to as where we haven't heard Michael Cole yell "the Architect" in a little while. So it's going to be different.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, I have another 1990 trivia question for you.
All right.
This shorty called 911 due to the fire burning on the dance floor when he was born on February 3rd, 1990.
Well, of course, that would have to be Sean Kingston.
Sean Kingston.
Sean Kingston. No relation to Kofi.
No relation to Kofi. Sean Kingston. Yeah, I didn't know.
Cool. All right. Can you give me 3 nicknames for The Rock?
Dwayne Johnson, does that count? They call him the People's Champion. I know that one.
That's one, yeah.
There was one. It's like I guess the bull. No, there's a word before that.
Almost.
The
There's something there.
bull.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forget.
Yeah,
I know. It's another B word. I know.
Yeah, it's
I know. I can I just can't. It's not coming to
It's
me.
not a. It's not. Yeah, it's a weird word, but.
And I don't know if this counts though. He always refers to himself as the most electrifying sports entertainer. Does that count?
That does count.
If he calls
You're
it,
close enough that I'll count it.
If he calls it, am I not? I probably don't have it exactly right.
He says the most electrifying man in sports
entertainment. Okay,
but
yeah. I know he calls himself that a lot. He likes to hoot and holler that
I'll
one.
count.
And the bull one, I know it's a B word. But like nothing's jumping to me. But I can picture it's the fucking bull skull. It's it's a yeah. Those are my three.
Okay. Well, yeah, you were looking for the Brahma Bull.
Brahma Bull. Yeah, that sounds about
Brahma
right.
Bull. And the Great One was another one. He just calls himself that.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that's, a lot of people do that.
A lot of people call themselves.
Gretzky's the Great One.
Did Wayne Gretzky get moniker?
I don't think he called himself that.
I don't think so either. I thought he was.
I don't think he's not. Doesn't seem like that.
Too humble. Yeah. It doesn't seem like his thing.
All right.
Okay. I have one more question for you. This is the final 1990 question, and either the hardest or the easiest, Mike, especially.
Oh.
The very first Nintendo World Championships were held in 1990. Mike, did you know this?
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
I mean, I don't know if I knew it was in 90, but I know of the championships.
And while the winners went on to win cash prizes, this, that, the other. They also won stock options for some company, which I thought was really weird. The runners-up were awarded with a brand new Game Boy, and which floor-based Nintendo product?
Floor-based Nintendo product?
Yes.
So second prize, is that what you said?
That was, the second place people got a Game Boy, and which floor-based Nintendo product?
I'm trying to think of the exact name of it, if it's what I think you're referring to.
It could
it's
be.
Like this mat, and you plug in this mat, and it's got all these buttons, and you walk on it like a Dance Dance Revolution.
Okay, so maybe...
But it's got a name. It's got a specific name.
It has a name,
I know, I'm trying to think of it. And it was double-sided, too. You could flip it over, and it had two different sides.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
You've
seen it before.
I know the thing, yeah. The name, I know it's in my brain somewhere, but... Because it was you could use it for track and field. I don't know. It is tough, but I know exactly what we're talking about.
You're so close. Yeah. If you can't get it,
is the word Nintendo in the product's name?
No, 2 words.
Just 2 words.
2 words. Alliteration.
Alliteration. So bum, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This and that. Let's call it the PlayPad.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Mike. It was so fucking close. You got the pad. You got the pad right. You got the pad right.
Power Pad.
Power Pad.
Okay.
I knew you would get it. Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I never heard about this thing. Yeah, 2 sides.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. That's why you probably.
It wasn't very good.
It's so much easier to just play with your controller in your hand.
I guess.
You want to stomp around to make Mario move and shit.
Yeah, there was a track.
Couple games that made
a
sense.
track and field game.
Yeah, because that one you'd stomp your feet alternatively to run and.
Yeah, there was a dance aerobics game.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing much though. Fun though.
Well, yeah, fun stuff. All right, that was your last one.
That was my last question.
All right, I got one bonus question for you.
Bonus.
While we're on the topic, I'll throw in one Halloween-related thing just for fun.
Okay.
But not the movies, not anything like that. We're talking about some candy. Because I want you to name 5 brands of bubble gum. And we're talking bubble gum, not gum. 5 brands of bubble gum.
Right, so Excel. That's not a brand of bubble gum.
No, exactly. So you chew it, you can blow a bubble. Tastes
okay,
good.
well, classic double bubble.
Yeah.
You got Bazooka. That was the one with the little. That was the one with the little.
Bazooka Joe.
Yeah, Bazooka Joe.
Yeah.
There's also Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba. Yeah, that was it.
3. What's the one that's the fucking Big League Chew?
Oh, yeah. Love that.
Fuck. I have to be able to get a fifth. I mean, there was like that, like... There was the bubble gum that was in the roll. It was like in a plastic little rolling canister, and you sort of...
You pull out the little strip.
I forget what it was called, but I would refer to that as bubble gum.
It is. It's got a specific name, though.
No, it's... Yeah, oh, fuck. Gum on a roll doesn't sound very appealing.
No, what does it remind you of? Like the way you pull...
Tape. Like gum tape. Tape gum.
Say, come on.
Taped gum in a tape your gum.
The other word to do with gum.
Bubble tape. Bubble tape
is what it is.
Bubble tape.
Yeah, the giant roll. You'd get the big roll of tape. You'd pull out the strips. I remember we'd go to the candy store, me and my brother, and I'd get a roll of bubble tape, and then I'd eat it all in a day. And then my dad would be like, "That should have lasted the whole weekend." I'd have a big wad of gum in my house, in my mouth like a cow. I'm like, that's the point. You got to get all the gum in so you can blow the biggest bubble possible. Right? Are you with me?
And did you ever blow the biggest bubble possible?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I blew it bigger than my head, and it popped, and it got in my face.
Just like in the movie.
Yeah. I didn't have to like get my hair cut or anything, but I had to pull some out. But it was like...
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. No, I would always, if you're getting gum on the tape, I wouldn't slowly peel it out like a chump. No, you open up the canister, and just take a big old bite. See,
I've done that, but no, I prefer the tape method.
Yeah, that would always be the hot commodity at a recess.
Oh, yeah. And it's got like a little powder on it.
If somebody had bubble tape.
It's so shareable. You can just rip a strip, bit of boom. See, for me, I love doing this. I love doing the strips because then at the end there'd be like a little chunk in the middle, and you'd open it up, and that was your prize. You still get the bite while keeping the integrity of the tape.
It's such a shareable thing. Oh my God, Mike, that was fun. Halloween coming up, kids. Stay safe out there.
A couple others you might have. Bubblicious. Remember Bubblicious?
Oh yeah.
And then one other one I really liked, the Bubble Jug. Remember that one?
I don't think
so. Like a little jug. It had like a bunch of powder in it. And the gum, shake it
and
up.
Then I guess there was powder that your saliva created the gum.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but I liked it. The powder was tasty. And the one other one, I don't remember the name. Remember the one that came in like a toothpaste tube?
No.
And you just like squeeze it out? It was
I don't think so.
It probably had some weird chemicals in it.
Going to get candy was never a thing that I did. I would get like an ice cream sandwich or something.
Yeah, you'd never want to like... See, I'd be like, I want to spread my dollar and get like 20 little things.
No.
Instead of one big thing.
No,
I mean,
my parents never gave me like small sums of cash when I was a kid.
I mean, I worked. I had a paper route. I worked hard.
Okay, I didn't have the paper. Maybe I just didn't have the I didn't have the expenses that you know.
It's not like I was addicted to candy or anything. I was just you and your friends hang out.
Are you sure you're not snorting up some of that gum powder?
I don't know. No, I don't even know if they make that anymore.
Yeah, probably not. Because kids are.
I don't think I've just like chewed a piece of bubble gum in a long time.
Yeah, not bubble gum.
I've had like. Because
I'm a gum
XL
guy. I am a gum. I always have gum in my bag. It's in the door before I leave. I like to chew gum when I work out or play tennis.
Yeah, I like gum.
I'm a gum guy. Sue me.
Yeah, haven't had a big wad though, like back in the day.
No,
I'd love it having. Just pack a lip with gum and go wild.
Pack a fucking lip and just go on bikes.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Fun stuff. Fun. Halloween's coming up. Stay safe. Stay at home. Kids, let's keep moving on with the show because we have Wednesday Night War to talk about. You know what? After such a fantastic takeover, I think that we should tune on to the USA Network and make our return back to the... No, I'm going to get it. Don't tell me. The Capitol Wrestling Center.
NXT. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT. Watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3. So
that's right.
Boom! I can remember things. And the set still looks great.
Yeah, and capital spell with an O.
Yes, Capitol.
Capital.
And yeah, we kind of, I think the show kicks off with that same kind of black and white stuff, we'll probably do that for a couple weeks, but without much fanfare, the show kicks off, actually opens up with a match. We have Kushida taking on Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, they were having a good match. Kushida working over that arm when Velveteen Dream appears, comes flying in off the top rope with a double axe handle, causing the DQ. And he's wearing a purple cast to sell that injury. But Kushida gets the better of him again, beats him up, sends him packing. So I guess they're not done.
I guess they're not done, which is it's a shame, to see Kushida move on to other stuff. Doesn't mean he can't. Just doesn't mean that doesn't seem the way it's going right now. But yeah, these guys put on a great match.
Yeah, Kushida, he should start continuing, pick up this steam he's going and start getting mixed in with that North American title picture or something. Who knows?
I agree.
Yeah. But then Ember Moon comes out to properly address her return, and, she gets a great reaction from a crowd. Lots of sustained cheering.
And I noticed there was a lot of, that piped-in crowd noise. Did you notice that also?
But it was mixed in with the real stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some piped in chants.
Because even so, she starts giving this promo. She starts doing a great job, but there was too much of a consistent level of crowd noise that happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of noise. But yeah, she's been gone 14 long months, and a lot of things. I know it's been a long time, and things have changed. But she's back, and she's gonna do what she's gonna do. And Mama wants some gold. So, speaking of, Io Shirai comes out. She gets in the ring, but before she can speak, Rhea Ripley comes out. But then she gets jumped from behind by Raquel and Dakota. So, Ember goes to fight with them. They all get broken up. So, Regal comes out and says, all right, you want to fight? You can have it later.
It's funny that so Ember Moon's back, and we're all stoked, and everybody seems to be happy.
Yes.
Moon got, she got down to the point of what she really wanted. But it's funny to bring, so Ember Moon's healthy, she can do her thing, but it's funny to bring her back to a place like NXT, which is just fucking overflowing with women's talent. Possibly the best women's division out there right now is the NXT women's division. It's funny to bring such a charismatic, crowd-friendly, or fan-friendly performer. That seems like an Asuka challenger to me.
Very well could be, but I feel that some of these NXT girls are going to get plucked this week in the draft, so Ember Moon might be a good, she might have the Finn Balor renaissance where she can come back, kind of pick up some steam again, and then
who do you think's getting drafted?
I could see, Dakota Kai, Raquel, Rhea Ripley, all those kind of women.
Rhea
there.
Ripley's getting drafted, I think.
Yeah, Ripley, she's kind of already done the NXT thing. She won the title, so. And, there's other candidates. I guess Tegan Nox is hurt, so not her. But
yeah.
Who knows? We'll see.
Interesting. I'm so excited. Is that happening on SmackDown?
It's happening tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
So it's going to be fun. Yeah, it should be a fun weekend.
It will be.
Thanksgiving weekend. Long weekend, folks. Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
This is about the time of year I like to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Although it's October. It's an American Thanksgiving movie. But,
but still pertinent to you, and that's what matters.
Yeah. But we got tag action here. Everrise is taking on Drake Maverick and Killian Dane, and you can tell they don't care about Everrise. Their graphics were still all square-shaped, which didn't fit in with the new
video
it was
layout.
Just they didn't even try.
Oh, God. We forgot to size it down.
Yeah. But you know who did get new graphics? New music, new everything. This team of Drake Maverick and Killian Dane, they come out. Drake's dancing. He's doing some sort of dance. I don't know. Dane's getting angry. He's all embarrassed by him, but that's their dynamic, right? So little man, big man. Dane just is getting angry at Drake during the match. He picks up Drake, power bombs him right on top of one of Everrise. I don't care to learn their names. Drake, and that gets the cover. 3 count. Drake and Dane win.
Killian Dane's looking a little trimmer, just like the Montez Ford effect, possibly. I think it looks like he got a haircut. Like they shaved. He's a hairy motherfucker. He just
body hair
seemed like a little less Killian Dane.
I noticed that as well. Like his chest, his midsection,
and his shirt was a little more like formed and not just kind of like loose and.
Yeah, there was some muscle bulging going on.
And Killian Dane's looking great. There's a reason. There's a clear reason that Drake Maverick was paired with Killian Dane, and that will come out soon.
Yeah, and the tag division's the one thing that could use some life in NXT here. I mean, Fandango's already kind of a comedy thing, but we haven't even seen them really much.
Who knows? Yeah, there's so these two are going to be doing something, whether we like it or not. So we might as well like it.
So far, I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Drake's entertaining.
Exactly.
And then afterwards, he's dancing, celebrating. Dane knocks him out, goes to leave, but then he picks Drake up and takes him out with him. So, he's starting to like the guy. But then we go to Johnny and Candice. They're out walking their little dog when they get back to their home to find that there's a brand new 65-inch TV on their doorstep.
Baby.
Apparently sent by Indy Hartwell. And Candice is like, what's this about? And Johnny's like, I always liked that kid. He's so pumped for his new TV. So
wouldn't you be?
I like it.
Wouldn't you be?
Oh, fuck yeah. 65-inch. I could use one of those. 4K. I need to upgrade.
It's probably a smart
Xbox.
TV,
Yeah, probably. But Austin Theory's taking on Leon Ruff. We haven't seen in a little while. But we know what he's here for. Theory hits him with the ATL, gets the win. And then Theory just kind of cuts a promo after saying, I'm the future. Nobody can do a damn thing. When Dexter Lumis comes out, and he just gets in the ring, and Theory's like, all right, let's go. So we get that match right away. Lumis, Theory. Nice to have Dexter back. He was looking good. He hits his side effect, locks in the silence, I think they call it. And then Theory just passes out. So Lumis wins.
Wow.
Then right after, though, Cameron Grimes comes flying in with a cave-in stomp on Lumis, and then he runs off all excited.
Grimes and Lumis. That's the program we're waiting for. Austin Theory back, NXT. I learned in this promo that he's not British. I don't know. I thought he was, for whatever reason, I thought he was British. I don't know.
Well, that was like me with Tim Thatcher until he finally spoke. I'm like, he's not British.
Tim Thatcher looks like he should be speaking like an incredibly broken Cockney accent.
Yeah.
I'll fight if I have to,
like Industrial Revolution London accent.
He's got the missing tooth. He's got the scraggly beard.
Oh, he's got soot everywhere. Just soot.
Yeah.
That's what Timothy Thatcher should sound like. And he doesn't. Austin Theory is also American. Yeah, he can work with a lot of these guys in NXT. I bet Dexter Lumis has been missed. He was certainly on a roll. Grimes Lumis is the better matchup for right now.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Grimes can carry the promo section of it, and Dexter just has to stare at him, and there's your thing.
Yeah, Dexter Lumis does this thing, and he did in this match, where when he rolls into the ring, he's on all fours, but he's on like his knees and his hands. And then what he does, he like crawls himself up.
He drags his legs.
And drags. It's odd. And I bet if you try, I bet it's hard. Like it's probably hard to hold him. I don't know, but it looked impressive. Great to see him back.
Yeah, so that was cool. And I guess there was a little segment where we do find out the damage that Balor and Kyle O'Reilly suffered, and we get that X-ray, the fractured jaw, and O'Reilly, they didn't specify, but they said he's not cleared to be on NXT this week.
I think I heard ribs.
You heard ribs?
I heard ribs.
I heard possible concussion,
Ooh.
but could be both. The liver shot. Maybe his liver's...
That was fucking hard hitting. I'm going to watch that one again.
Yeah. But then we go to Ridge Holland taking on Danny Burch. And Holland, the match was going well. He gets a nice decisive win. He hits the Northern Grit. But then after the match, him and Burch are still going at it. So One Lorcan comes out to save his partner.
Good.
And him and Holland have a huge brawl. A bunch of refs come out to pull him apart. But then unfortunately, there's one part. Lorcan just does a big dive. Holland catches him and falls awkward. You can see his leg just buckle, and he goes down immediately. The refs come to him. He was screaming in pain. I don't know if you heard these screams. It was.
Yeah. What was going on there?
I don't know. I think he legit, like, he was fucked up. I saw some still images. His ankle was like turned left where it should be straight.
Oh my God.
It was like, who was that basketball player that had the gnarly injury a few years ago?
Gordon Hayward.
Remember? Yeah, it reminded me of that. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, when your legs going the other direction.
It's like, ooh. Yeah, so he was immediately taken out. The refs throw up the X. We go to break. We come back. He's on the stretcher. And he did the old thumbs up on the way out, which is kind of not his heel persona. But, he was hurt. It was real.
No, you got to do that.
You do the thumbs up. Yeah. The old Evel Knievel.
But that's this is terrible because
it sucks. He was just about to get a huge push.
Dude, if you show up with a beaten up Adam Cole, that is the biggest heat in the fucking business.
Yeah, I could see War Games coming around. Rich Holland could have been a captain.
War Games. Oh my God,
No, but that leg, I'm saying 6 months minimum he's gonna be out. There's probably gonna be some metal put in that leg.
Dude, what the fuck's going on here? We carrying Cross.
I know, injury bugs. It's scary.
Yeah. and the actual sickness bug. There's 2 bugs going on.
2 bugs.
We can't handle 2 bugs.
Yeah, very unfortunate because Rich Holland. It looks like he was ready for a nice little push.
Because Rich Holland had more of of what we thought Timothy Thatcher would sound like. He had like he was
the little Brit.
He was like, don't go. I'm going blah 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 blah. Like I can't do accents, so I'm not even gonna try.
But then we go back to the Gargano household. Johnny's got the nice new TV all set up, and he's watching a video because along with the television, there was a USB in the package, and
the television's USB capable, guys. That way you can have whatever AVI MP4 videos you want on a hard drive. Stick it in MKV if you want it, and then you're gonna get high quality footage. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. That's what we got. Some high quality. It shows the women's battle royale from a few weeks ago, which Candice won, and it's highlighting that Indy Hartwell is actually saving Candice a couple times throughout the match, helping her. And Johnny just says, "There's something here. I told you I always liked that girl. Bright future." And Candice is just like, I think I'm starting to like her too. And I like this, big get Indy Hartwell.
And Gargano and Candice LeRae are now they're going to be on NXT. It seems like they're just going to be on NXT forever, right?
They're the mom and dad of NXT.
Like, this is their thing. Like, like the way in which like Triple H and Steph have kind of been portrayed throughout the years, and you can come in and out and in and out. Like, this is this now. We have our new
Candice has to win that belt.
She
eventually.
will win the championship. I'm not saying, of course. But now this is it. Now Johnny and Candice, the power couple.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Johnny wants to move up, but it's not always his choice.
I mean, it could be.
This all could be different in a week.
I know. Well,
but
dude,
I don't think so.
Cut to 2 years, and we're having a divorce papers on a pole match. The divorce papers are hanging above the ring, and you have to get on a ladder. Whoever gets the divorce papers first
gets to keep everything.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, I know that match is gonna be a banger.
Custody of the dog battle.
Custody of the dog and the TV.
Oh, the TV. And then we got another quick vignette of Tim Thatcher just giving his lessons.
What's he call it? What's he call his little hut? It's like that. Fuck, it has such a good name too.
It does have a name. I don't know. The
Timothy Thatcher. It's like school. Fuck off.
I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever it is, we love Timothy Thatcher over here.
Yeah, he's like, all right, always strike first, and then he beats up some guy.
And beats up some job.
There you go. And then we get our lovely host of this year's Halloween Havoc, Shotzi Blackheart. She drives out, and she has spookified her tank with ghosts, pumpkins, skeletons, all the good stuff. But she's... Exactly. Welcome to the ball pit. But we got a match. Shotzi's taking on Xia Li. And Xia doesn't last too long. They fight to the top rope. Shotzi knocks her down, hits her big senton, gets the win. But then as Zaya's recovering in the corner, a man comes out, Boa, who is an NXT wrestler, I think.
No, that's what I heard.
Yeah, and he hands up he hands Zaya this mysterious envelope, and she just opens the letter, reads it, and then leaves with Boa. What could it mean?
Fuck, I don't know, but maybe
An invitation to join Retribution?
Is that how they're handing out these invitations now?
I don't know.
I don't know. An invitation to be drafted up
Come
to the main roster?
Or is it an invitation to fight in a tournament in Okinawa?
What tournament in Okinawa?
The Karate Kid 2.
Oh, shit, against Cobra Kai. Oh, okay, yeah. It's the invitation to take on Cobra Kai.
Yeah. So who knows? Mysterious.
Mysterious.
But, let's go to the main event. Rhea Ripley teaming up with the returning Ember Moon to take on Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez. Ember's got a new entrance theme. I liked her old theme, though, so sad.
I guess moving off the CFO $ thing again.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But still great to have her back. She's looking good. Her and Kai work well together, I think. I don't know. She just fly. Like, Ember hits this big suicide dive. Kai just goes flying. And I don't know. They all have their time to shine. Mm-hmm. Everyone's working well together. But it does come down to Dakota and Ember in the ring. Ember hits a big pop-up power bomb, follows up with the Eclipse to get the win for her and Ripley.
Forgot how cool that Eclipse was. It really was. This match was about what Ember Moon can do. In case we've forgotten, she can fly. She was all over the place.
She was flying. She was running. She was jumping. That Achilles tendon is back in action.
It was looking good. It showed. I think it showed us. Yeah, Ember Moon versus anybody really is a money match. And like you said, with the draft coming up so soon, Rhea Ripley gets a win on maybe what could be her last NXT ever.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We'll see. Also, who's going to draft Charlotte? Because I think that's the money match.
I guess she's still officially part of Raw, so maybe she just, I don't know.
We'll see.
That
was NXT, though. It was another great show.
Another excellent addition. But let's hop just down probably a pretty short drive away at Daly's place.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what Daly's place from the Performance Center is. That's a good question.
Well, we'll Google that one day. But this is Dynamite.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
But it's not just any Dynamite. This is Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary spectacular. And we just kick off. Lots of wrestlers just praising him, little sit-down interviews. Even some baby faces were saying nice things about him. So,
yeah, everybody kind of got in a little bit. Just some nice things about, the best friends were there.
Yeah, Scorpio Sky, though, he was laughing at him. He made fun of Jim. But we got our first of many title matches. The FTW Championship. Brian Cage is defending against Will Hobbs. But Taz acknowledges that it's still not recognized by the promotion. But, it's being defended. And Justin Roberts even announced it. So
you said it.
Who knows? But yeah, this was just two big men, hard-hitting. Hobbs looks good, but Cage ends up hitting the drill claw, which is quite impressive that he can hit that move on Hobbs.
God. Just look, he's so fucking big. Brian
massive.
Cage is insanely impressive. Just like how you can walk around being that big, just like sometimes when you see him in a shirt and you're like, how did you find a shirt that was that size? If you're into it, Leo Rush actually a few days ago on Instagram posted a bunch of highlights from matches that he's had with Brian Cage. Very, very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. And then in one of it looks like it's in a bar or something. That's where it's taking place. It's like dimly lit, low ceilings.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see what Brian Cage can do with anybody, really.
Cage retains, and then afterwards, Ricky Starks gets in the ring, and Taz gets on the mic saying, "Will Hobbs, you're either gonna join Team Taz or you can say no and get your ass beat." But Darby Allin comes out, saves him, chases them off. So.
And I guess they haven't really erased that it was supposed to be a six-man tag.
Yeah, we'll get that eventually. Just like the Blood and Guts. We're still
Blood and Guts.
We'll get that eventually.
If the Elite doesn't all hate each other by the end,
we're getting Blood and Guts. I was going to say, in the inner circle, it might be all different. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, but either way, We'll get that. We'll get that match somewhere. But then we move on to fucking championship match 2.
Number 2, the AEW World Tag Titles. FTR taking on the Hybrid 2, who, back at the beginning of AEW, we saw them quite a bit, but now I think they're mostly toiling away on Dark.
I think they're Dark guys, of course. We're talking about Jack Evans and Helico.
And Helico, yeah, they're both solid wrestlers.
These guys are insanely acrobatic.
Oh, yeah. Tons of high flying. They're doing flips off the top rope to the floor. One point, Evans, he went for this Phoenix Splash leg drop on Wheeler, but he comes up short. Just kind of landed beside him.
But then he got back up.
Then he got up,
hit
hit a
again.
moonsault.
It's
Like, okay, we'll do it. So Evans looked pretty good here. But FTR, they double team them, hit a big superplex, followed by a big splash, and that gets a 3. Retain the belts.
The way that AEW seems to have kind of managed their talent, so we have our main roster, because it's kind of like we have main roster and Dark. Right, a lot of these people on Dark, like we said, these guys are probably going at it every single week, and we just never see them. This taking a team that's still getting exposure and getting better, and then having them just kind of come onto the main show and have a great match with a champion, just kind of like builds up FTR so much more. Like they're not getting a squash win over some shitty team no one's ever heard of. They're getting like a pretty good win out of a team that we've definitely heard of but haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely much better than
very
facing.
Different way of kind of booking these kind of things. Of course, at the end of the match, what happens? Oh, I think throughout this entire matchup, the Young Bucks are checking out the television backstage.
They're watching
where Matt Jackson did like an exaggerated WWE watching the television, where like the television, the television's literally behind him, but the way the camera, so he's looking over his right shoulder so hard that he can see the television, so his body is open faced to the camera. Yeah. And then I think the other one's behind him also kind of looking dumb and goofy, and then eventually they turn back to a normal way you would look at a fucking television.
And then right after the match, the Young Bucks were angry, so they super kicked the cameraman.
Oh my god! Didn't even give him any money.
No, they gave him $10,000.
Oh, they did?
I think so. They said something about $10,000.
I thought one of them didn't have their wallet, and the other one was like, shit. Okay, well, sorry, bud.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. But then right after that, FTR still out. On the screen pops up FTR dressed in weenie costumes. But of course, that's the work of the best friends who come out. They insult FTR and because they're the number 1 contenders. They're going to get a title match next week.
And they
on Dynamite.
They deserve it. They deserve it.
Hell yeah. They've been on a roll. So yeah, FTR take a swing at them. Best friends duck and beat them up, so they stand tall. And then kind of throughout the night, they would just cut to little celebrity guests wishing Jericho happy birthday. Slash was there, Dennis Miller, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Shaquille O'Neal, Gene Simmons, Lars, Ulrich,
Kevin
all these guys.
Smith. One thing I love about, because now we see it all the fucking time now, right? You can tell the difference between somebody who has a good quality cell phone camera and someone who sucks.
Yeah,
and
like Ultimo Dragon sucked. It was like a razor.
Who sucked? Dennis Miller's sucked. And it's just so funny to think about all these people, like, because you could have,
they could all have iPhone.
You have a GoPro,
or that too, yeah.
That's like $500. You're the guys from Steel Panther, who were my favorite. When one of them was like, "Congratulations, Chris Jericho, 30 years of wrestling," and the one of them was like, "Wait, he's a wrestler?"
Yeah, that was.
I thought that was pretty good. I didn't know that he was so close with so many rock and roll, like. I love that they're not like rock and roll legends a la Robert Plant, Brian May, Paul McCartney. They're like hard rock legends like Metallica, Steel Panther,
Kiss.
Guns N' Roses. It's so funny.
Yeah,
such
Gene
a Chris
Simmons.
Jericho thing.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
and there were some wrestlers in there.
We got both
Lance
Paul
Storm.
Stanley and a very not looking well Gene Simmons. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah. He looked like he didn't give a fuck about what was going on.
His whole, like, because he's a big guy, apparently, like tall, like lumbering, but like he's always had a lot of face size, and his face looked fucking small, like he's old and shit now.
I don't know. He is old. He's lived a hard life.
Yeah.
Then we go to the dog collar match for the TNT Championship. It's going to be rough. Mr. Brody Lee is defending against Cody. Only way to win is pinfall or submission. And obviously, you are tied to your opponent by way of dog collar around your neck. It was a pretty long chain, though. They had a lot of slack.
They had a lot of space.
And your boy Silver was there to support Brody Lee.
Like I said, John Silver, my boy, and Anna Jay, who, if you are watching Being the Elite at all and seeing the way the Dark Order is, Anna Jay is the clear number 2.
Hey, I've been fine, and you were the one who didn't like this version of Anna Jay, I thought.
Well, well, that was because I don't know. It's not that I don't like Anna Jay. Obviously, I love Anna Jay. It's because
you just wanted to see where that.
I hated that they got rid of what I thought was a perfectly fine, like a perfect gimmick, just like immediately. But that's all in the past now. Anna Jay, there's a bit where all of everybody in the Dark Order is working out. And then she does the most out of everybody, the biggest. She bench presses the most weight, and then comes up to John Silver you little bitch, and everyone's like, oh. And then there was another bit where everybody in the Dark Order is singing Cody's theme song, but replacing it with words like using Brody Lee words, saying Brody Lee and he's the best. And kind of redoing it. And Anna Jay's just sitting in the back, looking at them all what the fuck are you guys? And then Brody Lee always rolls into these conversations. One more thing about Being the Elite. Brody Lee always runs into these conversations with the Dark Order, just looks at them all and just always says, "What the fuck are you doing?" They all are just swearing at each other. Brody Lee's dealing with the dumbest group of people. But Anna Jay is the shining star.
She shines brighter than the material silver. Who was there? And early on, Cody nails Silver with a chain, and he emerges. He's busted open. We got our first blade job of the match.
First blade job.
And I think, then Cody later drop kicks him as well, and that's when Anna Jay comes out to shuffle Silver out of there. But then, lots of chain plays. They're just yanking on the chain to pull each other down. We had Greg the Hammer Valentine watching in the crowd. Did you? Yeah, he was there.
They kept showing him. That's a name I've heard before, but had no idea who he is.
He's not. He's okay.
He's a guy.
Brody. So when Silver gets attacked and Anna Jay takes him away, that was all a distraction because Cody was able to blade. That was after he got DDT'd onto the chain. So now he's bleeding from the forehead. You know what had to happen.
Yeah.
Cody in a title match, he's bleeding.
Cody, matchup, bleeding. That's the perfect combination.
So we get lots more chain play, chokeholds, ball shots. There's one really cool spot where Cody's on the floor, Brody's on the apron. Cody just yanks the chain, catches him midair with a cutter to the floor.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome spot. But then they went even more insane. They have a table set up to the outside of the ring, and they fucking did it during picture-in-picture. There's a table, both men standing on the edge of the apron. Cody picks Brody up and hits a goddamn package pile driver through the table onto the floor.
That was huge.
And then this, of course, allows time for Brody to blade. He cuts himself. He's coming up. He's got the crimson mask. And his really was a damn mask. His entire face.
Yeah, his was giving us Dustin a couple double or nothing vibes.
Yeah, lots of blood. Then Brody picks up a chair and he just chucks it at Arn Anderson's head.
That was sick.
This thing came close.
That was sick.
Arn was pissed because that almost got him. So Arn gets in the ring, but then Alex Reynolds comes running out. So Arn hits him with a big spine buster. And I think Arn might have busted his own spine. He had a little trouble standing up like an old man.
Yeah.
But he got up just for Brody to nail him in the gut with a chain. So he goes back down. Soon after, Cody hits a crossroads, but Brody kicks out at 1. So they go back and forth a bit longer. Cody wraps the chain around Brody's mouth, his nose, his eyes. He's just pounding on him. Then he hits another crossroads. This time, it gets into 3. Cody is once again TNT champion.
Once again.
Yeah, great match. I'm a little surprised at the outcome, but
little surprised that he won, but fucking one hell of a wrestling match. Every bit violent and bloody that we were promised, Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just the Dark Order was really picking up steam, and Brody. I'm just surprised to see him lose pretty quickly.
Yeah, it seems like it. Even in defeat, he still looks like a badass.
Yeah.
I think.
And I mean,
Cody.
Now they're
Cody gets to be that resilient babyface, and in a post-match promo, he sort of brings up to us like, "Hey, like I could have gone in a different direction, but I came back here for you, the fans. Just because I dyed my hair doesn't mean I'm a different person." And I was like, "Fuck, yes, it does. Classically speaking,
that's what I think.
Traditionally speaking, it does." And you are about tradition, Cody Rhodes. Don't tell me for a second that you're not the man who you once were.
That's what I'm
not
saying.
buying it, Cody.
I'm not buying it either. He starts crying. He was crying. The
He's
Rhodes
always
family comes out.
crying. This motherfucker.
I know. That's why I'm starting. If he's not turning heel, I'm turning heel on Cody because I'm starting to get sick of this. Every match, your family comes out, you cry. Come on.
I know. You get the biggest fucking entrances.
You get the fireworks, you get the pyro, the lights go
You get
down.
everything you ever
gotta be heel. You're
want.
acting like a heel.
That's a shitty way. Someone needs to teach these EPs what the fuck's going on here. Hey, just because you're the producer of a show doesn't mean you can treat us all like shit. And make it about you, Cody. Watch yourself, bud. At the end of this promo, Tony Schiavone they're like, "Hey, we're gonna belts up for grabs next week.
Who's next?
And Orange Cassidy saunters, meanders his way out down the ramp, kind of does his little half thumb up, and Cody responds with a full-sized thumbs up, meaning, we're gonna get that match next week on the 1-year anniversary show.
Yeah, so that's
should be fun. If nothing else, that's a fun match.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
If nothing else, it's fun.
Exactly. We'll see that next week. The only thing that's not fun on AEW is the treatment of the women's division, because this was our whole thing for the week. Big Swole versus Serena Deeb. Lasts about 5 minutes.
The
Deeb gets beat by Swole. Dirty Dancing. That's it. That's your women's action.
And I think it even had a commercial break in the middle.
It did. That's so. And it was like a 5-minute match.
Oh my god! How? Like why? How? Well, I mean, okay. So I guess, okay, the FTR or the Cody match was the night. That was the longest match.
Yeah.
The FTR match was pretty long. I guess it was the celebration of Jericho. So, I mean, really, it's only the Brian Cage match that could have kind of moved around, I would say. We could have swapped that with a women's match of sorts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hikaru Shida,
if we could,
what happened to Thunder Rosa? Let's get Thunder Rosa back on the show. Can we do that? Can we manage this?
If we could swap, like, the tag division of AEW with the women's division of WWE, we'd have perfect wrestling.
Oh, my God. That would be nuts. That would change the landscape of it all.
Well, let's go to the main event here. We've got Chaos Project, Serpentico and Luther teaming up to take on Chris Jericho and Jake Hager. And Chaos Project have quietly built up a 4-0 record on Dark, apparently.
Building up the record on Dark. Earlier on in the week, Chris Jericho gave a little... it was a little filmed promo about this matchup and sort of Luther's history. They've known each other for a long time. A great choice for Chris Jericho on such a momentous occasion.
Yeah, I get the history, I get all that, but Luther was looking a little shaky in this match. He was okay, but he couldn't quite keep up, looking a little rickety, climbing the ropes and stuff, falling down off the ring, stuff like that. But anyways, eventually Jericho, he calls for Floyd. Sammy tosses the bat in, but Luther catches it, nails Jericho behind the ref's back, hits a big boot, but Jericho kicks out. So then Sammy jumps up on the apron. Luther knocks him off, but this distraction allows Jericho to hit the Judas effect, so that gets the 3 count.
You know what, Mike? Yes. He gets the 3 count. This match, though, however, was just like Chris Jericho, a reflection of Chris Jericho's career as a whole. And what is that, Mike? That is nothing. That's not just unselfish, at least to say the least, right? I mean, Chris Jericho's constant, his unselfish nature in the ring and bringing a lifelong friend, peer, colleague of his and giving him a major prime time on exposure on cable television. Like that's, that's who Chris Jericho is. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, it was nice.
I gotta say,
Okay.
and he ends up putting his buddy over on a primetime television network. Mike, I would put you over. I would put you over on primetime
Thank you.
if I was given the option to do so.
I appreciate it.
I'm not going on my back, but I'm gonna make you look good. Don't worry.
Well, after all that's done, Jericho gets on the mic to talk about his 30 years when MJF interrupts. But he comes out, he says, "Don't worry, I'm not here to steal the spotlight. I respect you. I want to be part of this celebration." And he's got Wardlow with him, and there's also some other thing under a red sheet, which Wardlow pulls off to reveal Clownico the Clown. Just some clown with this leather jacket, light up, and but the clown's got another gift in his hand. So MJF says, "Next week, I'm going to make a career-defining announcement, and I want you there. But in the meantime, open this gift." So he opens it up, and it's just a giant framed picture of MJF. Jericho says, "Thank you." And then he smashes it over the clown's head, hits a Judas effect, tells MJF, "I hate clowns. Don't ever interrupt me again. You understand?" And then they stare down menacingly, and then they just both laugh. And he goes, "Ah, you got me." And then the whole roster just comes out, celebrate. We get the outro music.
Well, the
credits start
heels
rolling.
come out.
The heels, sorry. It was like the end of Saturday Night Live.
Well, it's like the end of.
The music's like, we get the saxophone,
And then it
the
just
credit
says
roll.
executive producer Chris Jericho, and every single credit.
Every credit
There was
is
cameras.
Jericho.
There were like 8 cameras. Chris Jericho. Chris
Yeah.
Jericho. Chris
Jim
Jericho.
Ross like, "Damn, camera number 4." That was just Jericho. Yeah, I love that ending. It's
In
great ending.
a fun actual way to end the show. I bet this was Jericho's idea. I bet totally. In the way they
Yeah.
kind of like they're like splishing champagne and the cuts.
So it's still real. Like they're smiling, they're laughing,
Everyone
they're drinking,
hugging.
they're joking.
That being said,
And JR even did. He's like, "Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We had a great show. Thank you to the guests, everybody."
everybody was on board. It was fun, right? That being said, though, MJF being so self-absorbed to interrupt the proceedings, cutting off Jericho's own promo to give him a gift of a painting of himself was so fucking in character. It was just, it was like he did 6 levels of being in his own character. It was incredible. And if nothing else, not only exciting to see what he's actually going to announce, I believe next week on the anniversary show, but further evidence that an impending showdown between the 2 top heels
Yeah, and who
in the
knows?
industry, possibly. Well,
this
not
be a way
named
to-
Roman and Bailey. Yeah.
Yes.
There's some ifs.
And
There's
could
some
this
ifs.
be a way to turn Jericho? Could this end up baby facing Jericho?
I mean,
if he gets,
30 years in, we're singing his song anyways.
I could see MJF, becoming the new leader of Inner Circle. Jericho gets kicked to the curb. Maybe he takes his little puppy dog Sammy with him.
Oh my God.
Then MJF's got Hager. He's got Ortiz, Santana. He's the new leader.
And Wardlow.
And Wardlow. Yeah, there you go.
Dude, that would be a lot of fun to see. Chris Jericho hasn't been a babyface. I mean, even in Japan, he hasn't been a babyface in years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
Possibly since him and Kevin Owens.
Yeah. So that was it.
That would be
That
incredible to
was
see.
the anniversary show. We have another anniversary next week.
Yes, another anniversary next week. That's going to be the one. That's going to be the episode of Dynamite. That's going to be real exciting.
Yeah.
And that was the entire wrestling week. That was the whole show.
That was almost the whole show.
Oh, it's almost the whole show because after such an incredible week of wrestling, we do have to award the honors of Wrestler of the Week.
It's the wrestler of the week, of the week. Wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. Wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week.
Mike, I'm gonna kick off this one, just because we're going back to Takeover. We're going to 31. We're going to the main event of Takeover. We're going to somebody who's in his first not only singles title match, but not only on a Takeover, just in general. But he fucking main evented. Can you believe that? And the dream matches that spurred from this one individual performance of me seeing Kyle O'Reilly from British Columbia, Canada. You're my wrestler of the week, dude. I hope you can recover real quick. I hope that we can see another great match out of you. Let's get the Thatch Man in there, Oni Lorcan.
Daniel Bryan.
Any of these guys would work. Kyle O'Reilly, you're my wrestler of the week.
Yeah, it was. We did have a lot of good wrestling this week.
A lot of good wrestling this week.
But I'll just go ahead and make it unanimous. Kyle O'Reilly.
Baby!
Yeah, great performance. Good stuff. Great takeover. Just everything. But KOR stood above the rest.
KOR above the rest. Yeah, that's right. That's our first unanimous since Roman Reigns when he returned a couple weeks back. So,
okay.
Real exciting. It's always exciting when we have unanimous wrestlers of the week. And that was the entire show. That was the Shoot Brothers podcast. Remember to rate, review, like, and subscribe. The podcast is everywhere. And God, I guess the next time you hear our voices, we'll be we've got this 1-year anniversary show to chat about.
Yeah. Even though I'm pretty sure it debuted like October 2nd.
Yeah, it was a little bit longer, but hey, it's the fanfare that matters. That's what we care about. Anyways, folks, thanks for listening. Mike, we'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Shoot.